Yo, dude. Yo. Big pogs. D2I is green? No, it's blue. That's blue. That's green. That's blue. Pretty sure it's blue at least. Maybe this guy can't render red color. Oh, Team Empire is red, so I don't know. Anyhow, there's a vote. BDS, Oregon. Oh, Oregon. Trainhard T-Tooth. Okay, we're gonna vote for Navi BDS, huh? Navi BDS. Oh. I saw one round on Twitter because it's like a highlight clip, and I was like, dude, this game is nuts. That's all I saw. I was like, oh my. But yeah. I think a girl is standing in for. I think it was Miranda. I think standing in for a team in Latam. I saw something about it. Let me see what exactly it was. It was, yeah, Miranda playing for INS in tomorrow's BR6 match. Means now that a woman has competed in 3 major regions in APAC, NA, and LATAM, making it Europe the only major region where a girl has never played in Pro League before. The highest competitive player that we have had is Lulun. I might jinx the pronunciation. She's now currently a manager, I believe, for Vitality or a coach, either or. But she played for the qualifier sometimes. Yeah. But yeah, EU is the only region where we have not had a professional female esports player at the highest level of play. And more importantly, we haven't had it in recent times. APAC was the first region to do it, I think, right? I think we had a female pro player in APAC before Goddess in North America, but obviously people kind of overlook APAC because like it's easier, quote unquote easier. But yeah, we had Jake's ex-girlfriend. Oh, what's her name? Oh, I forgot her name. But she was playing in APAC Pro League for like, I want to say 2 seasons, at like 2 years maybe even. Yeah, Luna GN. Good night. This chick. She played in APAC Pro League for, I think, over a year. I think for quite some time. I met her at Invite 2020. She was with Jake. Yeah, APAC had Luna and Sinister, but that was after Goddess. It was after Goddess. Spicy. So Goddess was the first, I guess. Was? Yeah, I think she stopped, right? I think she stopped. Let me check. It says XR6 Pro League, yeah. X. I think the entire Sinister thing kind of fell apart, like the main roster. Because I think one of the other guys I follow from that team also, like, either left or got kicked or disbanded or whatever. Oh, you mean a dating part? Oh, yeah. I mean, it's hard to date someone in Australia when you're moving to Europe, right? That's, like, the difficult part. Same reason why Riley moved to Europe, because we weren't going to do long distance for fucking 3 years. Because like Riley and I've been together 2.5 years now, and that's, you know, with her moving to Europe. So does Riley want to get into Pro League? Hell no. I don't think any fucking female does, for good reason. Because if you do, the only thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna get flamed, yelled at, harassed, get sent dick pics, threats, and yeah. There's like, what's the upside? Upside is you make some money because you get a salary, and you're like super rare, so like you're kind of like on a pedestal in that regard, like sponsors and orgs. Like the only reason why Cloud9 picked up the roster that they did was because of Goddess, because she was a female Pro League player, and that's like super valuable in esports. And the second that the roster was gonna kick Goddess, the org dropped the players, right? So yeah, being a female in esports and like making it has a massive value from like an org sponsor relationship point. But in terms of like social media and even just teams and teammates, it's very difficult, I would say.
Now V have learned anything from that match. You might see some very interesting plays, some very interesting attacks.
Some interesting plays. BDS plays a very, very aggressive Boregon. Navi, also known as a very aggressive team. So I expect nothing but some swings to be happening in this game. That is what we're expecting. I expect Navi to get better with time because they did have a little bit of a roster change and they kind of need to settle in. Any buck off jokes in chats? We don't need it. Okay. Kite ban. Kind of interesting that the kite ban comes out despite Thatcher being open, but then you just don't need to play Thatcher, period, if you don't want to. Ace is a very typical ban and Mirror is a very typical ban. The only weird ban here is like the buck, but I guess that's more like a target ban or whatever. Yeah, I don't know if BDS typically plays buck on this map, but it doesn't ring a bell, so... Sound up by 2 clicks. That's 2 clicks. That's a lot, no? Why have we settled on 1 click?
Some would say one of the best supports that walk Europe or even the
I was gonna say everyone plays Sledge in this map because the nades. If you bring the Maverick like Navi is right now, then you can play Bok instead of Sledge and you still get the nades, but yeah. Nav showing the Ying. I'm a huge fan of it, and it also might trigger 6p onto Warden, for example. But yeah, the fact that... There it is, dude. The fact that you show this is massive. Either you 6-pick off the Ying or you 6-pick onto the Ying. Ying is a side breaker, which is exactly what you want to have for this. But 6ing off it, like this is where a lot of teams they go wrong. They don't do it. Now they 6-pick off the Ying, they force the fucking Warden, and they go off the Ying, and then the Warden's fucking useless now, right? You still get like MPX or Shotgun and, you know, fucking pistol up Bearing 9 or whatever. Or HMD12 rather. But like, you go from 1 mine to Warden, that's massive. For nothing. I think the game secretly said after they removed the bot to prevent East takes for top floor playing vertical below. But wouldn't able to do that? Oh, from below, I see. Thing is, you could supplement that with Ashe and Sophia, right? As long as you have Ashe and Sophia, you can still go below and do the exact same vertical play from below. Because you go west, take small tower, you take kitchen, dining, you can clear out the kids' positions, which BDS are known for. Or they have done at least. But yeah. Only downside of the Warden is that you get an extra shield, whereas mine doesn't have a shield, but you lose the the magnet, so the shields are far less protected. And it's not like you're low on shields because you're also playing the Goyo, so yeah. Any 4 shields on defense first round, maybe? Dogi going in first really fast with a drone. This is beautiful map control. Also note that they have a guy going up above. What you can do with that is, let's say they caught a guy, you know, inside servers or whatever, or if there's a guy consisting freezer stairs, you can do, I'm gonna assume it's blur upstairs, you can sledge hole and hold the staircase vertically, you can open up servers vertically, you can do vertical in kitchen vertically, and if they did have a roamer, they could just pick it apart with the vertical way. So if you take above here at the same time, it's like giga value. Absolute giga value. Somebody said more volume. I can do up here, and then I can just, on my side, I can take it down. It's quite loud in my ears. Mute bulletproof and not C4? Yes, for info. I mean, you don't really need C4s on the swamp side unless you're playing like a plant deny, which I don't think BDS Navi is ever gonna get into a plant deny position personally, because they play so aggressive. At least not consistently. So since you're not playing the Valkyrie, since you're not playing the Maestro or the Echo, you bring a bulletproof and mute to get some sort of info on wherever you want that piece to be. We always know Shaco plays in this position, so you don't really want info on pillars. So that bulletproof is probably either in blue, it's in freezer, or it's laundry. That way, if BDS loses a player, they can just focus the 4 players on one angle and have the bulletproof cover the other one. If you got smoke, that is your plant deny. I mean, you always play smoke, right? And that's why I think smoke should lose the shield, because I think being able to bring smoke every single round, get a shotgun, get a SMG-11, get the smoke grenades, and get the shield, I feel like it's just too much in one character. I think in a... See, the bulletproof is there at the bottom of the stairs. It's dead now. If you gave smoke only barbed wire and beat boops, then smoke would be like you can pick smoke with the gadget, you can pick smoke because it's like a really good operator, sure, but you can't just pick smoke and get everything for nothing kind of thing. Good refrags here on Navi's side, swinging 2 guys down with a nade, 1 guy on hatch to catch the fallback.
That's a danger indeed for
Refrag comes
Shaiko.
back
Will
from
be able to
Shaiko.
reply.
There's
Now
no
he's
surprise
stuck
there.
here. Out of the question, right?
Pretty sure Shaiko is probably one of the best players in
Secretly
Europe at least to
will
play the
drop, and it's only
pillar
up to
slash
saves.
electric
And now one on the
position in
freezer
Europe.
stairs, one on the hatch. They know
Because
that
he
the
plays
shield
such a
is one that
deadly
is currently
version of
being
it.
contested, so they decide
Kento
to
is good
take
at
it
playing
out.
it, at
Explodes
staying
into a
alive.
fire
Shaiko's really good at playing it and just
fire.
fucking
His mate will be
slaughtering
able to take
everyone.
down Rafaldo, bringing it to a 2-on-2, and look at that Bride, still 3 smoke canisters left. Will be able to
You
completely
got 24
deny
seconds left. You
the
still have hella things to deal with.
from the freezer
There's still a couple of shields alive.
There's only 20 left now.
You have 2 smoke grenades. Nav rotating upstairs. The awkward position for the attackers here is that you can't really go anywhere. If you go freezer, you're met with crossfire and you can't help your teammate. If you go laundry, you're 50-50 on the map. If you go blue, you got 20 angles to work with. If you go big tower stairs, you got 20 angles to work with. If you drop the hatch, you gotta run through a door and a hallway. Like, there's no good attack in the 2v2 here. And that is typically why they gang up together and they just play quote-unquote refrags. But again, you got hard right, hard left, the wall, the rotate, the hallway, the freezer. The second you step past this double door, as Hibana did, you just die. Like, and this is like Oregon map design in a nutshell, where this is why it's so freaking defender-sided. Because if you don't have like a 5 versus 4 as an attacker, or a 4 versus 3, or, you know, man advantage, you're gonna lose at least 1 or 2 guys just trying to get inside the goddamn bomb site, right? Because you gotta run into all those angles. And that's also why the ace band is so massive, because the smoke grenades you would have every single round available, because you probably would play ace almost every single round if it was open to you. Those smoke grenades help you take the bomb site control. You could bring the smokes elsewhere. You could play the Ying like Nav showed. You could play the Capital.
That the Maverick has, as it is of course very dangerous to.
Because I mean, they're playing hella soft breach. 4 nades, 3 Ash charges, 2 Sophia charges. And the only thing they gotta clear this round, evidently, is the 2 bubbles on Maestro, and then you have the 3 Banshees on Melusi, but you're not gonna deal with all 3 of them. Reduce cast a bit, but now they're too loud. I'm getting some mixed opinions here.
Maybe even from Trophy as well.
What games where we've been decided? We do it 1 by 1 usually, Isaac. There's a lot of games to choose between, and the Twitch voting system only allows like 4 or 5, I think. So it's hard to. I think there's like what 10 games or 9 games that we want to do. So yeah. Seeing all the verticals that BDS is making here could lead to having some underneath like play control. All they're gonna use is just to cut angles off. Note that Lesion once again bought bulletproof, so that's like the consistency factor that we see from BDS, that they want to have information, but they refuse to play the Valkyrie currently. And that's, again, it's a great way to supplement information, where Lesion both give you the goo mines, which is arguably information, and they bring the bulletproof, which is really good information. And it also plays into the soft destruction lineup, where let's say Navi wasn't playing 4 nades and 3 Ash charges and 2 Sophia charges, right? If you have a bulletproof and 2 bubbles and 3 banshees and a shield, you need to choose what to destroy. You can't just destroy all of it. Seeing as Navi has as much explosions as they do, they can get rid of all of it if they so please. But something to note, it plays really well into the soft destruction, which is the previous meta that we just came from.
Where was that from? It was, well, Medics is looking for it, and when even Medics is stumped, you know it's a surprise to the
Has it
opponent
done
because
more?
he can't quite see it.
More.
He's got eyes
Like
everywhere.
that?
But Doki
Hello?
gonna learn where
They said they banned Buck to make it harder to do the vertical play? Yeah, the only thing Buck gives you is vertical play from downstairs. So let's say you're doing a kids defense like BDS is doing right now. If Navi was playing Buck, so I know Navi banned it, but just in this circumstance, right? If Navi attacked from small tower, they can then take kitchen dining and use the Buck to the vertical play from below and up. That's why the Buck is banned, because Navi doesn't want BDS to do it, I assume. Don't think they banned it against themselves. That doesn't make any sense, right? And as I said, if you have Ashe and Sophia, you have five explosions of vertical play, and they can supplement the Buck if you want to. So BDS could bring the Ashe and Sophia combination and still do what Buck would do. Otherwise, when you have it, you just gotta clear like this position, and then that's really it. This window repel can cut off all of this. This big window cuts off all of that. Maybe you use a single explosion in this very corner because you can sit here. And then the hatch angle, if it's not reinforced, or if they breach it with Hibana, if that was the case, it sees the rest. So what do you need? You need 3 explosions. So Ash could single-handedly clear out the entire room of Kid's bedroom. Sophia can clear out 2 out of 3 positions. Again, the Bog is kind of overvalued. Once you clear Kids, then you gotta clear Hobo. That's literally 1 position, right? Like, that's it. Like, the big window cuts this and this. All he can do is hide right where Rinchi was standing. Now he can hide in the corner, which is shot vertically with bullets. So, again, the Bog is very, very, quote-unquote, overrated in this circumstance, but it does also mean that you gotta invest all those explosions to get the vertical play. Because they have 5 breaches combined, right? This is from below, so breaching charges don't count. This is like exclusive, like you go into kitchen and do vertical play up. Otherwise, Sledge would do the same trick, right? Someone said, where's Joe nowadays? I don't think Joe is on a team. I think he's currently standing in for Gamma Esports or Gamma Gaming in Benelux, I want to say. But just as a stand-in, as far as I understand. I mean, it could be a trial. We don't know, but possible. If you have the Bog, it opens up Ash Sophia to destroy utilities. It does. I'm just saying, you know, banning the Bog doesn't change the outcome. It just makes it a bit more of a hassle. You can still do it. And that is, you know, Navi is getting on the Kids Repel. I like the fact that they have a guy on the freezer stairs on basement holding the vertical C4s while the XU comes out. That way you're kind of securing out the entire area of it. And then you go up white stairs. And that's what Ash is doing here on Doki. That's really good value. And while all this is happening, it's just like causing a big distraction when the bomb goes down. Once the bomb is down, you got 2 guys holding the same angle. And you see, they didn't kill a single Maestro Cam or a bubble. They don't need to in this circumstance. Because all the kills happened throughout the round, right? Everything happened like 4v4 or 4v5. Yeah, 4v5. You see, they push, they got Kids Repel cutting off one angle. Have a guy below to be able to like lash out. I guess he gets past Raphael on timing. Nav is not even planting, he's just holding and baiting it out, and that's where the kills get found. Blur gets one, Dewey gets the guy below on Lesion. And then that's like, you know, Nav falls back out. It's beautiful. Brit is alone on side, Lem's just below. Brit hitting a nasty shot, okay. And even if Doki dies in the back here, now they know last guy's right. So it's pretty clean. The only thing is, if Doki didn't kill Raphael on Lesion below on bottom white stairs, this round would have been very different. It all came down to Doki coming up white stairs. And that's kind of where the round was risky. I mean, sure, if you have the Kids Repel player who wasn't there anymore, you can cut off deep peek, but Doki finding the kill and then getting up the stairs just makes a massive difference. The chaos factor is super valuable. Where is Junas nowadays? Junas is currently playing sim racing, I think, and playing some Apex occasionally. I think he streams every now and again on his Twitch. And thank you, Mr. Morphic C. We're not seeing any more 6 picks whatsoever. It's a bit disappointing, boys. Again, you should be 6 picking every single round. There is no reason not to. It is free. It does not cost any money. And it keeps people guessing. The one round they did 6 pick, remember, they went from Warden into... from Wamai into Warden. And they haven't 6 picked since, and we're not really utilizing those mind games. And you can 6 pick the Ash, you can 6 pick the Sophia, you can 6 pick the Maverick. I think sticking the Hibana is pretty obvious at this point. That is super crucial. Thank you, Jimmy, for the 3 months, sir. Jimmy, Jammy. His name is Nathan for reference. Yeah. I know his name is Nath for Nathan. But his name is not Nathan in game, so we call him Nath. That is his choice, not mine. Imagine Secretly played for Secret. Yeah, that would be like... I've been saying that for years. I've been like, yeah, what if Secretly joined Secret? It's like, back when I was in Penta, it was like Penta Pengu. And the thing that we had in Pro League was that there was a rule back in Year 1 Pro League that you are called your organization first. And it was just such a stupid rule, because if everyone is called the organization first, and the spectator back then only showed the first 3 letters, everyone in Penta was called PEN. 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 And what was I called? My name is Pengu, which means PEN is my name. So we had 5 PEN players So Bloodbath, who was our commentator back then, would often say, and Pengu wins the round, or Pengu wins the game, because Pen is for Pengu and not for Penta. So every single player was called Pen, and the casters were losing their minds. We then later, like 2 years later, the rule got changed. You need to have the name dot Penta, so the all comes last. So we had, Fabian, Pengu, etc. And then it was a lot easier for the casters and the spectators to realize who the fuck is who. Because if I was playing Ashe, which I did back then, I was a flex player, I wouldn't just play Smoke and Thermite like I did when I retired. I would play Ashe one round, Sledge the next, Sophia the third, Monty. And then the casters are like, okay, who is Pengu? Because he changes operators every round and his name is PEN like everyone else. So they had to show the scoreboard a lot and stuff to show who's who. It was a nightmare. It was a complete guessing game. It was pretty good meme content though. There are so many clips of Bloodbath saying, oh, and Pengu wins the round. I'm like, yeah, dude. I was dead, but sure, I won. I'll take it. Don't know why T1 and APEC use an underscore instead of a dot. I'm just preference, I guess. Dot dash underscore. It doesn't really matter. I think dot looks the best because it doesn't like obstruct the spacing and it doesn't take up any screen space. It doesn't make the name any longer. Underscore is quite aggressive. Look how far Bank BDS is playing. They're just playing all the way from below. I say back forward, but Shaco peeks out. That's the Shaco special. Again, if Shaco had died there to blur and not this way where Shaco actually gets the kill, that's where BDS is really, really weak. This is a Hibana trick that I'm actually making a TikTok with this trick as of this moment. It also works if the wall is... you can do this against hatches as well if they're like electrified with soft fall around them and stuff. This is the same as Maverick. It makes the wall soft, so it breaks the reinforcement if done correctly. Yeah, so now that all this is soft, you can then sledge it, block it, explosion it. So it's the same as Maverick. Basically, with Hibana, you can make a bigger hole than you otherwise could. And now, I think you can even do this using less pellets, in theory. Maybe not actually. I don't know. I don't know if you could min-max it. But you get a bigger hole, basically. Thank you, Frosty. Thank you, Andreas. Because I think you do it 4 pellets. So you use 8 instead of 12. Oh, you can do it 4? Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, I think you can too. That's what I'm doing, at least. So yeah, you could do it more effectively or efficiently, but you don't really need the pellets in this circumstance. You have the Maverick on the board going attic side, so... Yeah. Oh, I guess the last Hibana pellet came here for an angle. It's like quite nice. This is where Navi's in a dire position, 3 versus 5. They don't really have much ground. The bubbles are still alive. The vertical play is held by BDS. You can't plant in this circumstance whatsoever. Navi needs to get a bunch of kills. They gotta clear out these crucial positions. It's very likely that Shaco hiding here is unbeknown to them, so they're gonna get swung and die. Nope, no one secretly hits a nasty shot that opens up the round. Getting monster control is step 1, then we can get generator and gotta walk in. Nav hitting a nasty shot 2, 3 versus 3. BDS over peaking massively here, right? No crossfires. They have bubble cams alive. They have smoke grenades alive. They might even have a shield, but highly unlikely. And they're swinging out these really nasty long angles with holos against ACOGs, basically. It's a bit sloppy. Smoke can just deny the plant in gen when it comes down, but instead the gunfights gets taken. It's still hard to plant for Navi because the vertical play is in control of BDS, and they do have a C4 as well. So as long as Brit plays this smart on side, this should be holdable. This is actually a nasty plant position by Nath. Very, very good try. But again, you need to hold so many angles, and there's a Meister camera right behind you, so limited what you can do. But actually a really, really nice try at problem solving the situation. But if you look at it, it's the wrong place, right? And this is the thing. Navi's not going to know the right play because they don't see everything. But you can assume that at least one guy is below. Turns out they actually had 2 guys below, basically. Like Lee Shin just came right, I believe, and we have 1 guy below still. The right play is to push through the vertical and like kill the guys inside and then plant. So you want to go into kits, rotate, push the guy big window, and then you plant. All you got to do is hold white stairs. Yeah. So you can't really please. Yeah, he just came up. This guy's still down. So all you had on side was basically Brit. He was 1 versus 3 on side. So if you just fucking run in and get that gunfight, one guy holds wide stairs, then you can start planting, and then you actually might have a chance to win. Like, this is like the panic play. You, oh, let's try and plant, boys, hold F and hope for the best to hit some heads. It's not reliable. And I think a lot of teams, G2 themselves, myself included, when you're playing and you're under all this stress and all this pressure, and you got 1,000 different things you could do, and you need to make the right decision, the easiest decision to make is the wrong one, and that's to plant. You know, you're 2v2, you know, you just plant, hope for the best. You know, you hold F, teammate, you hit some headshots. I'm just gonna hold F and hope for the best. It is not gonna work, you know. It's not reliable.
Is the reverse 6th pick this time? I guess they're saying, well, go on, bring Ying, and we're ready.
Why are people saying C in chat? C. Why didn't he clutch? He only needs 2 bullets. Not wrong. Not wrong. Lems is underrated. Still frags out even though taking up the vocal role. Yeah, Lems is probably one of the most, in Europe at least, one of the most frag heavy IGLs, I think. But if you look at BDS's playstyle, that's not really a big surprise. Lems kind of, at least in some maps, he calls around himself, which is what, you know, G2 and Penta, my previous teams, we used to do, is that Fabian and I would IGL. And Fabian would be on entry or flex, and I would be on flex or support. Which means it's not hard to say, oh guys, let's do this, because that's where you are. You can just take people like, oh, cancel, Jake, come here, we're gonna push this fucking doorway. And then, you know, you get kills. I think it's harder to IGL as like a hard support, like let's say you're Brit, Thermite Smoke, because you're so far in the back, you don't have a whole lot of info besides your own drones and stuff or camera usage. It's definitely easier to IGL as like as a front liner or a middle liner than a back liner. But it's important to have somebody in the back communicate. Like say you're like 5 guys in a forest, you have the guy in the front leading the way, and the guy in the back and the guy in the front needs to kind of understand each other, like who's falling behind, who's, you know, who's looking good, who's taking care of what. So in a perfect world, I want to have like an entry IGL and then like a hard support IGL on the same team. So that you can, you know, the entry can be like, yo guys, let's push this door, let's get this wall open. So like, oh guys, let's slow it down for a second. We're behind over here. We got a flank open, we're missing 2 flank drones. Like that's amazing, right? Because if you're just always pushing forward, and you're not like establishing your ground, you're gonna get flanked, you might get C4, there's some vertical play, maybe you breach too early or too soon. So you definitely wanna, in a perfect world, you would want to have an IGL or a vocal player on both ends of that. For sure. And that's like the back in Pens and back in our prime, that's what we did. And it's what a lot of teams started doing as well. Then the game became very utility based, like with the shield meta and shit like that, utility meta. And teams started having like much more of a strict IGLing, like guys, let's get 6 flashbangs to this window, flash, okay, now we need it, bang, okay, shield down, okay, now we gotta breach this wall, Thatcher, now we EMP, 3, 2, 1, throw it, okay, now he finally breached the wall. It was so fucking boring. And you just had one guy talking, trying to figure shit out, because there was so much happening. The nades of doom being rained from above here is quite nice, but Limsh gets out safe and sound. Massive value that he's bringing for his team here. That is 4 grenades spent, and they didn't really gain much from it. Very well placed by Limsh there, getting out. His flank weren't really being held, however, so now we're missing up the timing. Should be punished in a ideal situation here. I'm to Penta after you all left. We didn't leave Penta, we got bought. G2 Esports bought Penta Sports' roster. So we got transferred from Penta to G2. Then Penta picked up some lower tier teams, like they tried, you know, in ProLeague with like Hungary and those guys, and then a French team. Both of them, you know, they didn't make it, so now they are in tier, I think they're in tier 3 now, I don't know. Doge with a flank from behind, beautiful entry, getting 2 on Britain ensures the backbone of the entire defense. And now BDS is to answer back through their own rotation holes, which is super limited in entry. Shaika 1v3, unlikely clutch, but passable nonetheless. Doesn't happen. Doge again, opening up the round of his team, getting entries as like a spearhead. Navi sitting back waiting. Once it succeeds, they push up with it. Again, if Dogi had died and lost the gunfight, different circumstance, but Dogi makes it work. Massive spearhead potential here. Yeah, it's the Dogi difference. What does IGL mean? In-game leader. So, it's the guy that makes the decisions, kind of. Everyone is talking, everyone is saying stuff, you know, but let's say Doki says, yo, guys, I can flank. And then Nav says, guys, we can plant laundry. Then the IGL will go, Doki, you flank when we push up. Or Doki, when you flank, we push in and plant. You know? Like, you'll be fed information, and then you make decisions and call. Usually, you're going to be the most vocal player. Like, let's say the round starts, you go, guys, let's go for a west side take. We'll hear small tower, dining, kitchen, and start clearing out freezer stairs. And then, like, once you've done that, the IGL will go, oh, guys, they have so much shit on laundry and so much shit on freezer. Let's go tower side and go backside because they're going to be weak there. So you kind of analyze round by round, but you also have a beginning strat, basically. You want to do both, ideally. Wouldn't two IGLs conflict too much? No. Not if you do it correctly. If you have harmony between the IGLs, then no. Fabi and I used to have a system where he would lead the beginning of the round, and I would lead the ending of the round. And that worked flawlessly, because I don't think there's a single IGL in the game that excels at everything that I know of, you know? There's no IGL that can call the beginning of the round, the middle of the round, and the end of the round perfectly. So, because every IGL is really good at calling certain things. Fabian was really good at saying, yo guys, we're gonna attack from this side of the map because they're gonna be weak on that side. And I wasn't good at roam clearing. Fabian was fantastic at roam clearing. Really, really good at it. And then Fabian sucked at calling for plants. Right? Fabian was not great at that. I was insane at calling for plants, but I sucked at roam clearing. So Fabian would IGL the first, like, let's say, minute and a half. And then I would IGL the last minute and a half. Because once the first minute and a half is over, then we've roam cleared. That's where Fabian is strong. And now we've entered the setup and execute phase, aka planting. That's where I'm strong. So then I start IGLing. And on a map like Clubhouse, and a map like Oregon before the rework, or even with the rework, you got those, like, you got roam clear, then you got setup, then you got execute. Whereas, like, on Coastline and on Villa, it's very different because of how the map just plays out, right? Yo, KS with the raid. Thank you, KS. Hope you had a fabulous stream, my guy. Ready for some speed. Navi says, fuck it. Spearhead Doki going in first because it comes to Brit. A smoke off the board. Elbow has taken control. Blue is taken as well. And BDS answering back very slowly. The issue here is the map is cut in half. You gotta rotate here. Impossible to go through. You got blue door into pillars. Difficult to go through because you don't have big tower control. Don't have pillars control. Don't have electric control. So the early kill gets found. But you need to problem solve how you actually get past this area now. And that's the hardest part. But Save's flank and laundry side opens up that side of the map as well. Shaco frags back onto secretly. And now we're past those areas. And now we actually have side control. When Zero last man standing 1-0 and 4 to his name doesn't get the clutch. So again, you have Saves walking down to lobby stairs. Gets a kill. Doe goes in blue first to get a kill. And then the round just opens. You trade one, trade back. And last guy's hiding here.
Trying to speed run that round.
Very nice from Navi. Very confident, very aggressive, very decisive execute. Saves was gonna flank, Doki was gonna entry, and you work with the kills. Brit being smoked there, first of all, he might not even have been ready, right? Being a smoke player, you're often like reinforcing or making shotgun rotations like middle of the round. And sometimes you might even go on a camera to see where they spawn. That's something that I would do on D2. When the round clock hits 0 in prep phase, I would go on cameras and I would say, oh guys, construction cam dead, parking cam dead. It's gonna be a blue take with like lobby control, right? And then you see that the small tower cam on the west side is alive. So they're not coming west side at all. So ideally, every single round, you want to have a guy go on cameras so that you know what attack they're going for, because based off which default cams are dead, you will know which side they're going for. They're not gonna do a west side take execute if they don't kill the default cam, you know, 5 or 10 seconds into the round. That just doesn't work. The second that the attacker spawn, the first thing you do is shoot the default cam. And that indicates exactly where they spawned, and that it indicates further what attack they're doing, or at least what side they're going for. So that's always something you want to do. Is IGLing more of an attacking thing? Yes. IGLing a defense isn't really a thing, because you have strats on paper where everyone has a very, like, you put barbed wire there, you put a Valkyrie cam there, and like this guy will do that reinforcement, then go over there, like do I've done the same setup like thousands of times at Smoke. Same exact thing. You get efficient at it, you get good at it, then you save time. Like Doki again, waiting for the injury drone, he's being droned by the same guy every round. Blur going in big window, again getting droned by the same guy every round. So you have these like predefined things in both attack and defense. But the difference is on attack, you need to be flexible and adaptive. Whereas in defense, you do a setup, then they react to your setup, and then you can adapt again if you want to. But because of the nature of that, you don't IGL really on defense. You might play around a certain win condition, or say, oh guys, we killed their heart breach, let's all fall back now and hide on side like pussies because they can't reach the walls. You can say those things, and that is, you know, that is IGLing to a degree. But you can preemptively go, guys, we're gonna do this. Unless it's like a counter strat, which you can do. And let me just can Valkyrie cameras. I mean, the way BDS is playing is very far back. So you should have a guy on cameras just being like, okay, small tower cam is dead, shower cam dead, lobby cam dead. You know, okay, they got map control, boys. You can't flank. Best G2 roster, Paris Major was the most dominant Siege team in the world, I think, still. No one has played as good and as dominant Rainbow Six Siege as G2 at Paris Major. Paris Major G2 Esports was the best team to ever play Siege, I think. Like, till now at least. Can entry be IGL? That's the common role forward, yeah. Flex or entry is typically where the IGL will be found. Previously, nowadays you see a lot of people like myself and Char Canadian, like we were IGLs, we're also playing hard support. But I would say that we all kind of stemmed from the more flex entry roles. Doki sees a gun barrel, Doki goes kill, Doki goes shoot. A little bit of an overextension swing here, but it's fine. Doki was feeling it, I guess. This is kind of where, you know, there's not a whole lot of follow-up. Like, no one is really ready on the hatch. Blur isn't really holding and covering this angle. So Doki kind of goes in solo, gets the kill. He knows he can't really back out again, really. I mean, he could try, but it's ugly. So he goes in and swings instead of 50-50 gunfight. He loses it. 1-for-1 trade. It's worth it for Na'Vi to get that kill, because they opened up something. They just failed to capitalize on it, right? Now Shiro is back in that original position. And Lem still has elbow control. I take it back, and Lem does not have elbow control. He's dead. Bit of a blunder there. It's all about the frags in this map. Na'Vi could play more execution based with like a Ying, Capital Smokes, etc. But they don't need to, especially against BDS. This right here is a big blunder. He throws a nade and doesn't even bother looking in this direction. Right? Like, that's a bit of a blunder. It's like the shield is so far back that this shield angle doesn't get you much value. But yeah. Brede doing the impossible here, basically. Yikes. Bit of a yikes. That's a bit satch, I'm not gonna lie. Also, Brit hitting this kill is just, ugh. Brit's just better. Looked like Naf was stuck in the rotate there, I'm not gonna lie. Like a rubber band. Best way to find small mistakes to improve them? Record your gameplay. Record your gameplay. If you're playing ranked, or if you're playing like scrims, practice, a tournament, record your point of view, and look back at whenever you don't know why you died, or if you're curious why you died, or just to watch back the entire game. Oh, it's my bad. I called both of them and sighted from the drone in the elbow drone hole, but didn't see the smoke cross. Oh, I see.
power whatsoever.
Then why did he... The only thing is, like, I guess... Did he try to nade the Banshee but missed? Because he threw a nade, but there's no one here.
Under the pressure.
And he didn't even get the Banshee. Like, he missed it. So, like, what is his nade?
To apply the pressure onto Blur, but
That's what I'm curious about.
a little bit further away.
Oh, he naded and then I call... Oh, okay, so he's doing one thing. He gets a call. Oh, it's clear. Just fucking go for it. And then he gets shot in the back. I see, I see. That's just really unlucky timing then. Yeah, I mean, he was holding the angle and then he's like, yeah. Yeah, fair enough. These are the things we'll never know otherwise. Thank you, Dogi. Because it looks like it's such a blunder. You know, like you walk in, you like lazy clear it and then you die. Watch your own gameplay like you're watching someone else and judge it hard. I wouldn't judge it hard. Just look at... Because the issue with these VOD reviews, for example, is that you see everything, right? Like, oh, why would you not peek that angle? Like, there's a guy there, but he doesn't know that. Like, he, as Doki said, he got the call from a teammate that, in fact, it's clear. Right? It's clear. So, you'll never know those things when judging your own gameplay or others. Like, you might watch your own gameplay back and be like, oh my god, I'm such an idiot, I should have known. But you didn't know. You only have the info available to you in the given moment. So whenever you watch your own gameplay, you should also keep that in mind at the time. Somebody said TeamSpeak or Discord. TeamSpeak for audio, Discord for like server. Like if you got like a group chat or like you want to send like photos and videos and stuff, I mean Discord is definitely superior. If you just want clean, simple voice comms, TeamSpeak. I use TeamSpeak for everything pretty much except for like the friends that I play with that don't play with TeamSpeak, like because I don't really mind. Like I have Discord as well. But for like competitive games, for ranked, for tournaments, we always use TeamSpeak every single time. What's a blunder? I think blunder is a chess term, right? A blunder is like a very big mistake that shouldn't be made. That's like my understanding. I can Google it to see if it... Yeah, a stupid or careless mistake. I wouldn't even use it as a stupid mistake. It's more like it's a really big mistake. Like you shouldn't make that mistake. As a pro player, if you blunder something and make a blunder, it basically means that that should never happen. Like, you know, like planting, you know, 1v2 and the guy's like next to you and you know that, but you just brain fart. You know, that's a blunder. Like it's an obvious mistake. I wouldn't use it as like it's a stupid player or a stupid mistake. It's more like just you shouldn't make that decision, you know? And you try and play around that resource. Try and make unforced error. I don't know if it's unforced. Obvious mistake could be used. In chess, a blunder is a mistake that immediately weakens your position and lose your spot. Yeah, and that's what a blunder is here as well. If you blunder, you put yourself or your team either in a terrible position, or at least you put yourself in a terrible position. Because you're dead most of the time. It's the same as like, you know, you can either hold the angle with crossfire. Like say that, let's say saves and whoever's playing on the shield and elbow is 1v2. So you have one guy here, one guy here. If they have an enemy in this room, they need to peek him at the same time for crossfire, right? 1 versus 2. So the guy who's attacking them has to kill one guy and then like 90-degree flick kill this guy. If saves peeks this door, like if he walks further left and dies to the guy behind the barrel, that's a blunder if it's 1v2 because he's giving up the crossfire that you otherwise had. So that's a massive mistake because the 2 versus 1s, you know, 3 versus 1s, 4 versus 1s, whatever, you should try and make it unclutchable by the opponent so that whenever he fights one guy, he has to fight both guys. That way it's like a 99.9% win rate for you. And if you swing out solo and take that 1 versus 1, the 50-50 gunfight, and you lose, well, now you're in a 1v1 with another 50-50% gunfight, right? So that's like a big blunder if you fuck up the crossfire and 1vx's. So say Saves was peeking this exactly like he is now in a 1v2. That's a blunder. Because secretly is holding this angle, which doesn't see until like here, right? And Saves is holding this angle all the way out there. And Saves could die, leaving secretly 1 versus 1. So that would be a blunder, for example. In the 5v5, I mean, doesn't fucking matter. If Saves gets a kill, it's massive, he dies. It's okay.
calibration of the stack up that they're doing secretly.
There's not. I wouldn't say there's that many blunders in Siege, simply because the game is so complex and so advanced. There are very few circumstances where like you can't possibly know what you should be doing. Also, I mean, it is nuts. Renshiro gets injured, Shao gets taken down. Playing elbow is very scary as a smoke player. You have 17 bullets and you have no info, and they could push you at any given moment. Oh, eat. Any dead bodies flying around? Is FaZe the longest standing orc in Siege? No, Liquid is... No, actually, FaZe is before Liquid, I'm pretty sure. Right? Wait, Liquid is the moment? Didn't FaZe join before Liquid? That's how I remember it, because FaZe got a worse deal than Liquid players. Alright, Rainbow Six Siege. When did FaZe enter? Because the way I remember it is that FaZe Clan signed the 5 FaZe players, you know, Astro, all those guys. And they got like a bad salary. And then like a few weeks later, Liquid signed the Liquid lineup of Nesk and those guys, and they got like a really good salary. And then the FaZe players were pissed because they felt scammed. That's how I remember it. Because if Liquid joined first, the only way that would happen is if like they just didn't communicate and they just settled with a bad deal. But from my memory, it was FaZe first because they got a shit salary and they complained to everyone about it. And then because Liquid joined 2 weeks later, getting like 3 times the salary. Because FaZe wasn't unhappy with the salary until Liquid joined. Because they didn't know the salary they should be asking for. Because they came to us. I think it was Julio came to me and Fabian and asked us about salaries and stuff. Because like, they're like, what are you guys getting paid in Europe? So I'm pretty sure FaZe came first. Wikipedia goes back to January 18th, 2018 for FaZe. I'm pretty sure that they joined the same month or like the same quarter of the year, but I'm pretty sure FaZe came first. I'm gonna Google real quick to see what I can find. Looking for... Yeah, January 18th, 2018 is Rainbow Six Siege FaZe Clan joins R6 Esports. Maybe it's not at the same time. It's very close. I know it's super close in timeline. Team Liquid, Rainbow Six Siege. Where's the announcement? January. Let's see. I'm getting January 15th from Liquid, and I'm getting 18 from FaZe. 3 days apart. Very, very, very close. 18. Yeah, 15th of January. And I can't find FaZe's ESL page, but this YouTube video is 18th. Interesting. So basically, I guess one got announced before the other, and they went through negotiations at the same time, and FaZe got like the worst deal. Yeah. Because I remember everyone was like, "Oh shit, dude, FaZe signed a terrible deal." Like I think they were paid like $800, and Liquid was paid like 2K. So like Liquid got paid like over double the amount, and obviously the FaZe players were fuming. But like they just, you know, they didn't know their worth. They asked for too little money. But like imagine an org comes to you and they say, "So sir, how much money are you expecting to be paid?" You sit there as a big fan of these big orgs, and you're like, you don't want to be cocky and fuck it up and be like, "Oh, I want 2K." But you also don't want to get paid nothing, right? So you say 800, then they say 500, and you settle on 600, and then you're okay with it. The org is fucking laughing to the bank because you're so underpaid, and they just got a cheap deal, you know? Because that's what NIP did, is that they offered every single European Pro League team an offer, And the salary was so, like, we would go down in salary. I think we were paid 2.2k in Penta, and I think NIP offered like 2k or like 1750 or something like that. So less salary. And we're like, why would we take a salary cut to join NIP? And they're like, oh, because we're a legendary big org. And Fabian and I are like, that's a fucking scam. Like I don't give a shit if you're, I want to get fucking paid, dude. So they gave every single European team an offer. They all said no. Then they went to Latin America, or Latin, and obviously like, just like with APAC, in Latin, like money has more value because of the economy and whatnot. Like making 1k in Brazil is a lot more money than making 1k in Europe. But also just like in general, like it was a smaller league. It was just like new to ProLeague and stuff. So like the salaries are lower. NA and EU are the most competitive in terms of salaries. 2k a week? No, salaries are typically counted in months in Europe. Or at least in Denmark. So if it's 2k, it's 2k a month. It's your monthly salary. I could also say like the year salary, but then you gotta do the math yourself. Like, oh, so this divided in 12. Okay, they make this much, right? So it's a monthly base salary. I think most of Europe does monthly salaries. Or you can divide it and go like, oh, they make 500 a week. You know, like, oh, pockies, dude. But like, what's the point?
If that is a counter strat, it is a really good one.
But then taxes? Yeah, but taxes always exist. So if you make 2k, it's before taxes, right? Which means that you don't make 2k, you make 1.750 or 1.650 or 1.6, you know? Depending on how much tax you pay. But then, like, the tax bracket doesn't start until you've made, like, 10k. So you only get taxed in the last, like, 3 or 4 salaries or whatever the case might be, you know? So taxes are going to be very, like, independent. Also, if you make money off YouTube or Twitch, then also affects your income and your taxes and whatnot. Then you have deductions. You have employment, so like you can be employed, which means you have dentist and healthcare and stuff like that. Or you can be a freelancer, which means that you get taxed less, perhaps because of there's no like employment fees, social benefits thing, magic. But you also pay less tax on top, so like it's a win-win or a lose-lose depending on how you see it. Thank you, Crassi. Don't probably get between 5 and 7k a month. I wouldn't say 5 to 7k. I would say 4 to 6k. 4 to 6k plus housing for some orgs. Some orgs they pay like your rent. Some orgs they pay you like rent money because they don't have like a place, but they'll pay you money to cover your rent. But that's in EU and NA. In APAC and Latin you make less. Saves going for big dick play, not firing. Nice trigger discipline. We'd love to see. That guy was skating, by the way. That's literally is skating around. Nav gets the kill. Beautiful Pepega gunfight. We'd love to see it. Not much can be done. You're 1v3. Any swingers? I'll say only top teams in EU make at least 5k and above. Yeah, for sure. Like, that's like the top. That's why I say 4 to 6, right? I think the teams making 5k are a few, but a lot of them are making like 4k, you know? Then there's like the newer ones like Kovana, Train Hard. I feel like that's one more org, but they might make like 2 to 3k, maybe 4k peak. There could also be KPIs like, oh, if you stream 10 hours every week, you'll get 500 euros extra. Or if you do like X social media posts, you get X 100 euros more every single month. You know, there's also like the KPIs, which is like milestone goals you will hit, and then you like trigger it and you get money, right? Some orgs have like, oh, if you qualify for a big event, we pay you 100 euros more a month. If you win the event, we pay you 200 more a month. Because I think we used to have that in Penta where we would get paid more money if we won and qualified. And because we qualified for everything, we like doubled our salary in like a year. Or like a year and a half, 2 years. It was crazy. We went from like 2k to 4k because we just qualified everything and won everything, that we just got like 100 extra there, 150 extra, 250 extra. Over the course of a year, if you win every tournament, that's a lot of money. So there are some bonus like performance incentivized benefits possibly in some orgs. I think that's not really a thing anymore. You know, everything's very big now and big orgs, and everyone's making good money in ProLeague. You have a pilot program as well. Don't underestimate the pilot program value. You can make thousands and thousands a year if you sign with the right org, with the right skin. The skin matters, right? The good skins sell more. So like, let's just guess, G2 TSM, they make the most by far. Then it's like Liquid, maybe like orcs like FaZe, maybe orcs like Rogue, you know? And then maybe an orc like Dark Zero could be making bank. Like, they don't have a uniform, don't have a weapon skin and charm. But their skin is probably also default cam isn't shot here, my guy. We just spoke about the first thing you do on attack, you shoot the default cam. So Dark Zero probably has, if I had to guess, the most, like, some of the highest sales. If you look at how short the weapon skin has been out for, and you compare like the orc size and the fan base to like TSM, G2, Liquid, FaZe, whatever, they've probably have the best numbers, I would guess. Just because I feel like any player would buy their skin. Casual player, ranked player, fan, not a fan. Whereas if you're a G2 fan, you know, our skin is very, very G2 branded. And it works because G2 has a lot of fans. But if you're a casual player who don't give a fuck about G2, you probably don't want to buy it, right? The Dark Zero skin and the Riven skin, I feel like that's probably the most unique and arguably best looking skin in the game, possibly. That anyone could kind of buy into that. And that's what FaZe did with their new Valkyrie skin or the MPX skin, is that they've got this like Star Galaxy skin that looks cool. Anyone can kind of buy it. Which makes sense of FaZe because, you know, they don't really speak big in Brazil. They don't really speak that big in the EU and NA when it comes to Siege. They don't really make any English content or anything. G2 Visual skin is good? It is. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that there's two ways to make skins, right? You can either make them branded or you can make them sick. And branded doesn't mean they're not sick. They could be both. They could be a sick branded skin. They could be. But I do think that if you can pull it off, I think what Dark Zero did with the Leviathan skin is probably the best way to do it. Especially because Siege has so few good skins in the game outside of pilot program that if you make a skin that's highly accessible, it's just giga stonk value, you know? Blur could go big this round. Secretly has SMG 11, so we're not gonna count him in just yet. He's got the weapon of terror. Has to hold white stairs. This sucks. Holding white stairs at SMG 11 from this angle is like the worst thing in existence. But how low a Lemch is though, that's gonna help out the gunfight massively. No nades on Maverick, I gotta jump into the gunfight. All I gotta do is play smart now. Nice. Crossfire. If Blur backs up now, that's amazing. If he keeps going in like this, he could have died right there. Leaving secretly in a 1v1, full health on secretly, full health on Maverick. So that's a blunder. Like, this is where it goes wrong. You should back the fuck up. You know his big window, like they clearly knew, right? And you just hold the jump in angle together. Because secretly can't see this angle that he's peeking. That's like the 1v2 that we spoke about earlier. He sees his feet the entire time. And like Raphael just like completely peg us out. Jumps in with what, 7 seconds left? Yeah, jumps in with like 7 seconds left and gets meleeed by Blur. Like complete Confiesta, right? But it's decisions like this from Blur that makes Raphael able to clutch. If Blur and Secretly plays this quote-unquote perfectly, Raphael has 0% chance of winning. If this was Shaiko in Raphael's shoes, I think he would have won the round. Because Shaiko wouldn't miss this free kill and then jump in and get meleeed. Like Shaiko just wouldn't, right? He's better. And Secretly has SMG 11. He's in a very obvious position, very prefireable, right? And you don't even gotta jump in and kill this guy. So, massive mistake here. You don't go forward, you go backwards. Set up the crossfire. And don't take that massive gamble there. And they're laughing because it worked. But trust me, if they lost that round, they would have been yelling and screaming and being mad. Because it's one of those situations. But it's fine because it worked out. No one died. I mean, Raphael died, but no one important died. Now he survived, you know? But it shouldn't happen. It just shouldn't happen.
They found themselves in a 2v4, I believe it was. We're able to lock it out. Blur with a great kill down onto, I believe it was.
Raphael isn't important? Not. The last guy to be important in this lineup is Raphael. Let's be honest. Who's important? Shago's important. Who's important? LMC is important. Who's important? Brit is important. And then it comes down between like Raphael or Renshiro. And I would take Renshiro over Raphael most of the time, personally. So if you're completely honest here, Raphael is not important. He's the least important member of BDS, arguably, right? Arguably. Not because he's not good, he's amazing, but he's in a stacked fucking roster. Right? He's in a stacked position. It's not even arguable. Like, everyone here is insane at the game. Right? Here you can say, oh, Blur sucks. He's a new player, hasn't played Pro League that much before. Like, he's the weakest link easily. Like, by far. Easy discussion. Right? He doesn't even match up 30% to his comrades. Currently, like, he's top fracking. Let's look away from that, right? But like, he doesn't even have experience. But Alems is IGL, fracking out really well. Shaiko is Shaiko. Brit is Brit. Probably the most sought after support player in the world. Even though he doesn't even speak English properly. And then Renshiro, I would just say has NH or Raphael. Or Raphael, whichever.
The smoke canister coming in right there from secretly.
Does anyone speak than Naf? I don't know. Naf been grinding for a long time in tier 2 and tier 3. I would say Naf has a lot of experience. But Blur has experience, but from an outsider's point of view, I actually think Naf probably brings more, to be honest. Like, Naf he's been a grind. I mean, so has Blur been, but Naf has been around for a bit.
They are ahead, yes indeed, but just by 1 point. So if Na'Vi manage...
It's the same in like G2. Like, back when we had Goga, Goga was like the least important player. But not because he's Boris, because he's just the hard support. He played amazingly, by the way. But when you have fucking Pengu, Shate, Fabian, Dunas, yeah, Goga's gonna be the weakest link. He is. And he's like, back then he was like the best support player in the world, probably. But if you look at how stacked, like Kanto, right, like, you have incredible players next to you, while also still being an incredible player yourself. So if you look at it that way, you're like, yeah, no one important died, you know? It's more like a meme than anything. Goga was probably the best Thermite player that I think, at least in the world, back in our prime. No one could beat Goga, dude. Goga and Echo as well. Lot of clutches. Lot of clutches. I mean, Goga and I had a 2v5 at, I believe it was Paris Major semifinals against Secret. Or I guess they were IDK back then? I don't know what their orc was, but we had like a 2v5 on Bank, top 4 attack. We just rappelled, didn't see a window, we killed 5 people, we planted. I was like... It was always easy with Goga, dude. Him and I in 2vx's, me and Fabian in 2vx's, we just don't lose. Somebody said, I feel like Kenzo's been massively underperforming compared to his past self. I mean, the game is different. Like, a lot of people will be like, oh, you know, Shaiko is 7-7, like, he's not doing so good. Like, but like, you're playing Oregon, you know, you've been clapped around a bit, getting rushed, you know, losing 50-50 gunfights. Like, the current game and the meta and how it's played, it doesn't favor people like Kento anymore. You can't just swing and kill people unless you're someone like Shaiko, right? Like, very, very, very few people. Even, like, look at Joe. I think Joe's the perfect example. If Joe was in Pro League 2 or 3 years ago, I think Joe might have been the best fucking player in the world. No, like, not even close. But Joe in Pro League in 2020, 2021, like he was, bit of a joke. Like, no offense, bit of a joke. Peaks everything, doesn't understand when to fall back, doesn't play utility very well, doesn't drone very well, doesn't call very good. He's just a gun. A gun that takes every fight possible and dies. But that's not because Joe's playstyle is the wrong playstyle. It's because the game and the meta, how the game is played, doesn't favor that gameplay anymore. It doesn't. But I'm pretty sure if Joe was in Pro League 2 or 3 years ago, when that meta was the best way to play the game, I would have been afraid for my career. I would have been fucking scared shitless for my career. Because if that was the best way to play the game, and you had Joe on your team, he would literally just wreak havoc upon you. And that's what he does in ranks, what he does in FPL, but it doesn't work in this meta game. It's not valuable, it doesn't bring many benefits. It's super high risk, usually average reward. This BDS to perfection, by the way, collapsing on every single possible position in the world. And this is like the best way to counter clash too, because if you have a clash on one area, well, if you attack 4 different areas at once, the clash is gonna do fuck all, right? And then BDS have to win like 50% gunfights. And when you have people like I said, Brit, Shaiku, Rafael, Lems, Renshiro, it's not hard to win your 50-50 gunfights, right? And they only have 4 guns because of a clash. Beautiful execution. What should you look for in an entry role? Consistency. I think consistency is the most valuable aspect of a Siege player. And I think a lot of pro players don't have it. And that's why they get a lot of slack. Like someone like Kento is extremely inconsistent. He always has been. He used to be consistent because other people were worse than him. But now that people like very similar in skill, unless you're like specific, like very specific players, like very few are even arguable for that position, you just can't get away with playing the game at 90%. You need to bring 100%, right? And consistency is so hard to come by. And especially as like an entry or a roamer, where you're in a very like inconsistent role, it's really hard to do well. And that's the one thing that someone like Shaiku does a really good job of, is that he is pretty damn consistent for his position. For every 10 times Shaiku peeks someone, he kills them 8 out of 10 times. Whereas for every Pro League player, it's like 5 out of 10, you know? It's 50-50. So getting 8 or 9 out of 10 gunfights won in your favor, not only do you get confidence as a player, but the enemy gets fucking shooketh. Because if you have Shaiku peeking you, you're gonna be like, fuck, this guy's gonna hit my head at a higher chance of me hitting his head. And then you have the mind game. Then you have mental pressure, right? And that's the kind of fear Kento used to have. It's the fear that Joe had when he joined Pro League, which he lost really quickly because of how Pepega he played. Whereas if Joe had succeeded early on with that playstyle, I think that could have been a massive upswing for his career. But it didn't really work ever. And then it became a bit of a meme like, oh, Joe's gonna peek me, just watch. And then he peeks you and he dies and you laugh. And then he gets kicked and he's not in Pro League anymore, right? But had it worked out for a few weeks, had it worked out for a few games, could have been a different story. But I think consistency is super valuable, obviously. But not for everyone. Like, you don't need your thermite player to consistently kill people, but he needs to be consistent in the sense that he wakes up every morning and he knows his job. He drones well, he knows which walls to breach, when to breach them, how to breach them, and how to ask for resources, who to ask for resources. If you wake up one day and you do the job perfect as a thermite, but the next morning you forget to call for a Thatcher EMP, you open the wall before you have reached like a certain stage of your strategy, or you don't drone, like you're like lazy droning corners and your interfire gets shot, that's bad, and that's like support inconsistency. So consistency is measured in like various ways based on what role we're talking about. And some support players, when they drone, they do a really fucking thorough job. And then some people, when they drone, skip this corner. There's no one. There's not gonna be a guy over there. Fuck that. It's clear, guys. Walk in. They walk in. They die. And then you lose trust, right? It's happened before. I mean, I can say Kento had a problem for a bit when we started droning more. Like, he would be like, "Oh, it's clear, Uno," and Uno goes and dies. And I'm like, "What the fuck, Kento? You know, like it's not fucking clear. You drone the fucking corner, dude." And it's like, yeah. You know, Gogo wouldn't fuck that up. Maybe he would, but I think there's a lower chance of it because he's like a natural support player. I had to learn that the hard way. I'm like the biggest bait droner ever. Half the time when I drone, I'm just saying, yeah, it's clear, guys. Because like, why would there be a guy roaming? You know, like it's logical, right? And 9.9999 out of 10 times, I'm correct. There is no one there. But it's happened before in both Pro League and practice where I've been like, yeah, it's clear, guys. And then they're like, no, it's not. And they die. That's because I'm a fucking lazy droner myself. At least sometimes. Now I'm just retired. Not really droning anymore. Dogi is single-handedly putting Nav in his back, dude. I'm not even kidding here. Dogi has been a spearhead the entire series, finding opening kill after opening kill, and now setting up the round for a clutch. Doesn't go for the ace. I respect it. Goes to the safe round. But very, 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 very well played.
to run away from this mass and make sure that we win the round in the back of time. There's no way that he's going to be able to grab that diffuser from the likes of Elbow and go
He's
for a
too
plant.
good.
They're
Yep.
Convinced of the
Dog has
fact
been the
that
spearhead the
they
entire
will be
game
on the side.
since the very first
And
attacking
that's a
round.
that
It's
looked
beautiful.
like it was BDS's with a 4-2 execute in the last 30 seconds. Suddenly turning
Someone said, I'm better than Pengu. I've never missed stronger than Pro League. Not false. Not false. I'm a terrible droner. I'm just too lazy, honestly.
They are the ones, the only ones here in this matchup that have the opportunity
But this is
to go for full 3 points.
Thank you, Repo.
The first team to take
Did we see a 6-pick? Are we happy? So Valkyrie 6-pick into Melusi. This is to like bait out the IQ or whichever. Unless you're like a semi-incompetent team, you are never gonna play IQ on Oregon in this circumstance. There's no kite clause. There's no mutes ever. Like, you're not doing vertical play because Buck is banned, or like generally speaking, you don't do vertical play overall. Like, you don't really want to bring IQ ever in this circumstance, I would say. So yeah, I think you're better off like 6-picking maybe off the mute to force maybe like force the Maverick or force the Thatcher, because Thatcher is open. You can be better off 6ing off the Clash again to force the Capital, the Kali, anything else really. But yeah, the IQ 6-pick is usually what people play around, like 6ing off Echo, 6ing off Valkyrie. But the thing is, no one plays IQ the last, what, 8 months? Maybe more? Because you can't fit IQ in your lineup anymore. You need nades, you need soft breach, etc. You could argue here, I mean, BDS kind of threw this round. Sledge swing solo. Right after Ash swing solo. Diffuser is here, right? Like, we see the diffuser, but like, if you're 1v2 with 11 seconds left, I mean, yeah, your team is kind of far away maybe, but you know, if you don't wait for this guy, if you lose this gunfight, you lose regardless. So you might as well just like try and gather up, like, let's swing this guy together, hold the staircase, run back. But yeah, that's the thing. If you're Shaiko and you win most of your gunfights, you might tend to peak some that you shouldn't be either. That's like overconfidence, right? Pleep said I've been playing this game for 2 months now, and I got into rank, but was rather surprised that I got into gold. Like, how I often felt like I had a way better kit than my teammates. I don't know if it's luck or me not knowing callouts, but do you have any tips maybe? I mean, so Siege matchmaking is very bad. Like, it's terrible. You shouldn't be a gold player. You should probably be a silver or bronze player, right? Like, most likely. But in Siege, even if you get clapped in your placement games and you lose like 7 of them, you will get like gold 4, which makes no sense, to be honest. I think every single player should probably start in about silver, unless you're like exceptionally talented or good for a natural for a newcomer. Especially seeing as Siege has so much to learn and so many maps to play and whatnot. Gold 4, gold 3. So I've been playing League of Legends too much, dude. In League, you have 4 ranks. You can be gold 4 in League. I was gold 4. Not anymore, though. Gold 4 doesn't exist? Now I'm in the wrong game. Also, I've never really been gold, so fuck you. Man, I haven't been gold in like years. I was silver in season 1, been fucking diamond champ ever since. I don't even fucking know how many ranks you have in silver. I've never been there since season 1. No, but the entire Siege like matchmaking system is completely fucking screwed. They need a complete rework. It's very scuffed. Lowest rank I've been? The lowest I've been was silver 4, which used to be the silver 1, because they flipped it. Like, silver 1 used to be the lowest silver rank, whereas silver 1 is now the highest silver rank. But I was the lowest silver rank back in year 1. Then I joined Pro League, and then I got plat with my Pro League team. There we go. Nice Rafael. More swings. Navi a little bit solo bolo here. Not a whole lot of refragability or anything else. But it has been a gun fiesta so far. Not, oh, you hate to see it. Blur pushes through and finds Brit. Gets refragged back out by Elemsh. And just like that, we're secretly put on the floor. All alone and dining while Nath is in basement laundry. And everyone's very isolated here. That is such a hard combat to win. That's where the crouch rotates suck. Like, that's where they absolutely suck. Any ninja diffusers? Ah, okay. Maybe. How was your beginning in R6? How did it start? I saw the trailer. I saw the trailer for the game. Like the EA 2014-15 trailer. You know, when they're rappelling down with the helicopter and they're like breaching and droning and like it's super fucking fake. You know, it's not even the real game. Yeah, I saw that trailer and I was like, dude, that sounds sick. What if me, David, and my Prixie, what if we buy this game and we have like really good teamwork, right? We can like own people in this game. So we bought the game. I got invited to the closed beta and the open betas of the game. So I was a beta tester. And I fucking hated Siege. Thought it was a shit game. So I uninstalled it. And then when it came out, I installed it again like after like a week or so. And I gave it another try. And then like 2 weeks later, I went pro. I don't know. The whole thing is kind of weird. But yeah, I basically quit. Ah, fuck this game. It's fucking boring. And then we went pro out of nowhere. But yeah, it just kind of happened. Siege back in year 1 was, I thought Bandit was super broken because I didn't realize that Thatcher destroyed. So we would play the old Hereford and there's like the dining wall on like the outside of the map. Like it's like at least the outside. And every time that wall was electrified, I was like, holy shit, Bandit is so fucking broken. You can't breach the fucking wall. Because we only had thermite back then, right? But then I realized that if you rappel on the second floor window upside down, you can floor bang through 2 floors. You can floor bang the Bandit battery. And you can counter the Bandit charge. So I would do that every single round. I'm like, oh guys, they have Bandit. I know how to counter it. If you rappel in this window upside down, you can double floor bang the Bandit charge. And I loved that about Siege. But then I learned, I was like, okay, when I'm defense, I would play Bandit. And there was just like EMP and my Bandit. I'm like, they didn't do vertical play. But they destroyed the Bandit. What the fuck, dude? I learned that the Thatcher with the thermite is how you breach walls. And back then, no one knew that you can Bandit trick. So if they EMP'd the wall, you ran away. So they breach, like no one knew, like not a single person knew back then. So Thatcher was super overpowered. It took people like months to realize so you can Bandit trick. It was pretty crazy. Yeah, I was like, what's the blue light? I'm like, yeah, what is this blue light? Siege was really fun back in year 1. Like when I think about it, like some things like shields and lean spamming was like absurdly broken, right? But like I think the game was so pure and so innocent, and it was really, really, really fun. And like nobody was good at the game, so nobody could like abuse like the most obnoxious stuff. Whereas as people got better at Siege, they started abusing the lean peaks and the crouch spam and the, you know, the shield ADS peak, the shield spam peak, Emberize, bullet holes peaks, like, you know. As people got better, as people knew more about the game, the worse the game got to like felt to play, because it became a matter of abusing mechanics, right? That's like the same issue that Siege still has, you know, 6 years later. The game itself isn't bad, but the amount of mechanics and stuff you can abuse that makes the game unfun and frustrating, that's pretty much the biggest issue Siege has. I'm not mad about, you know, there's not enough content or not enough updates. Like, there's plenty of updates. I mean, sure, bug fixing is a big issue and it takes forever to fix them. But, like, that's every game. Like, every game has bugs, right? But the core gameplay of Siege is just fucking frustrating because of players abusing stupid things that the game has, right? Remember when you had raptor legs? So like in kill cams, you would walk backwards with your legs. Or when Wamai came out, he could dap with his discs. If you had your disc and you leaned, you dapped like this. That got hotfixed in like days. The Wamai dap got fixed so quick. but we're still suffering from like the same visual box and sound box and audio box for like 3 years. But the Fun Police, dude, that dab was so popular. Like YouTube videos, Twitch streams, you'd pick one mine and go, hey, look at me, and be like, ah, that's funny, dude. And then like, you know, one mine was fun to play, and then that got fixed in days, dude. It took them like 3 days to fix that and remove it from the game. And it didn't do, it wasn't bad. It didn't do anything negative. It was just funny. But you know, so that's kind of like what the big problem is. It's like, why did that even get, let's keep it. Keep it, dude. Fix the issues, keep the fun. Best of both worlds, you know? That's like, as a pro player, you know, I care a lot about bugs because like they ruin the game. Like audio bugs, heat reg issues, silent C4, silent planting, glitch smoking, right? Like you smoke here, and then all of this gets smoked. You smoke here, all of this gets smoked through the wall, right? Like it's broken. You know, you smoke here, all of this gets smoked outside the building even. Like I hate that as a pro player. That's one of the reasons why I got so frustrated and burned out, and it's one of the reasons why I even retired. It's because it fucking sucks playing a game for a living, for money to win, when a lot of rounds, and it's more than you believe, are decided on coin flip, luck, and bad mechanics, right? That sucks. Recall changing every fucking patch, you know, it blows. It's fun to play the game for fun. It's not fun to play to win and for a living with those circumstances. It's really not. BDS doing something that Na'Vi didn't. They take deep side control very effectively, but they forget about the wide stairs retake. And that punishes them massively. Yeah, silent proning, glitch. Yeah, there's a lot of issues. I mean, I could probably have like a video for like 10 hours. I'm not even kidding when I say that. I can talk for 10 hours straight about game-breaking bugs, how to do them, how to abuse them, how to reproduce them, and how long they've been in the game for. Like I made that everything wrong with Siege video a year or two ago, whatever. That was a 2-hour video of me just talking without prepping, and I just said on stream, I said, fuck it, let's talk about Siege. No preparation, no thinking. I had nothing prepared. I just one day said, let's talk about Siege. 2 hours, 2.5 hours of content. Of just issues and how to fix them and what we can do and ideas and suggestions and everything. And that was only a part 1. I could easily make a part 2 and maybe even a part 3. We're not gonna do that right now. But I'm gonna try and have a different approach the next time for sure. Right now I'm waiting for the fix Operation Crimson Heist, because Operation Crimson Heist has been one of the worst expansions or seasons or whatever in years, I think. Personally. And I think one of the main reasons why it's so bad is because of how good it looked to be. So not only was it like, you know, new stuff, but we thought it was new good stuff, and then it turned out bad. Like, there was a lot of hype for Operation Crimson Heist and what was coming. And then half the content didn't even come, and the other half was bugged. Like, Recall didn't work for 2 weeks, whatsoever. The game wouldn't close when you closed it, whatsoever. You had to alt-tab and task manager and manually do it, right? So, I do think that Crimson Heist was like a big disappointment, but not the end of the world. But I myself was extremely excited and extremely hyped, and I had spoken so positively about Siege in my videos. And then the fucking season comes out, and there's nothing positive to say about it. I'm like, fuck, dude. Every time I'm hyped and I'm positive, everyone else was hating on it. And then whenever I'm negative, they're happy about it. You know, like, we can never win, dude. Never win. Just be real for it, yeah, dude.
Open up that soft and make sure that they can apply the pressure they need to. Doki is alone on the backside, but Nath can go off for some support once he's done droning out.
Navi's playing 6 grenades now off the edge onto Ayana. Kind of serves the same role, different gun. I am still a bit surprised that neither team is really resorting to using smoke grenades or any heavy side execution here. So it's very much like the same kind of rounds we're seeing, with slight alterations on defense. Like we see a Limsh bring in the Rooney now. We're gonna see Na'Vi bring out Freezer again, which they have pretty much every single round except for one. Maybe two with the rush counting as well.
I made that mistake before. Everything's colored blue, but this is a freezer take and a laundry take, as I meant to say. And well, that is where all the attention is being focused.
This is the utility game. You gotta clear the shields, the bulletproofs, breach the walls, kill the banshees, and then you can start executing. Again, you have no smokes on the side of Na'Vi, so when this push comes through, not only do you have no way to cut off the angles, but you also have nowhere safe to plant, and this is where the game gets tricky. If Brit wants to, he can smoke glitch here and kill the planter here. You know? Your best bet is probably to try and plant either here, or if you're fucking risky about it, you can plant on the table, like behind it, that is. But if Blur loses freezer control, who's a single person here, it gets a bit tricky. It's gonna come down to the spirit of Doki on the backside again. We need to find a frag somewhere for this to work out. Blur gets one. Gets two. Massive from Blur. See, once those two kills comes out, I would have loved if Na'Vi slowed down and didn't overcommit on the backside. Because the plant had barely started when it happened, right? To make it work, bomb does go down, post plant 3v3. Make that 2v3 on the exit. And it's not the greatest post plant on Oregon, but I would say that for what it is, it's a very great one. Blur is single-handedly becoming the spearhead that round. Doki and, I guess it was secretly, that was his big bait. Yeah, secretly. I mean, they're just gonna create chaos and die, basically, right? I do think they could have waited just a second if you see how it's a little bit missynced here. See, bomb is not even starting to get planted yet. We just got the kills. Then we drop. We could have waited 1 or 2 seconds, you see. Like, yeah, if you waited 2 seconds, perfect. This is like 99% perfect, you know? You did die a little bit early, but they got the job done. They baited, created chaos, beautiful refrag from, or like exit frag from saves. And they're finished in time to actually catch the flanker as well. They just got there. So, pretty good. Pretty good. Na'Vi. Any Na'Vi fans? Any Na'Vi fans? Do NA or EU? Do an NA game, Han. Dude looks very heavy. Yeah. They were. I mean, they should be. Doki played a great game. Blur had a great last round. Like, they're gonna be super happy with their performance, right? As you see here. Secretly looks more relieved than anything. He's like, oh, thank the Lord we didn't lose, you know? Doki, it looks like he keeps fist bumping no one, right? Who's man fist bumping, dude? Looks like he's... Hey, you know, but there's no one there. It's just him. He's just like a celebratory fist clench. That's actually sad. Not sad. Oh, by the way, you see my shirt, dude? Hey, look at this shirt. Any OnlyFans? No? Any OnlyFanners in chats? It says only Gapes. Doesn't say fans. It says only Gapes. It's the Red Bull social media guy. His name is Gape. Slew Gaped, this guy. It was like, yo, what if I sent you a Slew Gaped merch? Or a only Gape merch? Would you wear it? I was like, yeah, I'll wear it. Of course I will. Thank you, CJPR, for the 1 year Poggies, sir. So, sir. In a game, TSM Mirage and Chalet. See, I haven't played Chalet in scrims, and I haven't seen anything but Navi playing it the first game against, well, I believe it was Train Hard, if I remember correctly. So, I'm not gonna have any clue what's happening, dude. TSM Mirage. Am I blind? There we go. Mirage actually is a cool shot on Chalet with Goyo. If you want to see, like it.
He's just absolutely unstoppable. And then other games, he's just downright absent.
Yeah.
And that inconsistency.
Thatcher ban? Hey, what a surprise. Not surprised that Thatcher gets banned on every map. You know, it's expected.
That Merc has never really been absent in big money matches. In this particular matchup against Mirage, I think you're going to need everybody coming out swinging. Mirage surprised us with their very first match and played at #1.
Nomad ban.
I think they regressed back to the mean in their matchup last week against OXG. Here on Chalet, it's
a lot of people think SSG against TSM. Was that also on Chalet? One sec, hold tight. Where is TSM SSG? Here? Oh, Chalet, yeah. Would you rather watch SSG or TSM? This game is longer. This one is closer, right? And this? And this? Yes, SSG. Oh, this was actually good. I don't know, I've already seen some of this, which is I'm confused because I don't think I've actually watched it. Was it a better match? Okay, we'll watch it. We'll watch it. We get Luke Meister. Both boring games, to be honest, dude. Hey, that's your ban again, dude. It's the same game. It's fine.
We'll go to the French mountains and we'll see what operators get banned out.
The French mountain of Chalet. Okay, okay.
Interestingly enough,
Maverick ban. Alright, that's gonna change up how basement plays out a fair bit. Now, as far as I know, basement bombs out of Chalet is the worst. At least in ranked, that's the case. Valkyrie, Deadly Operator, very big map, and you don't really typically play IQ in this current metagame.
We were here for TSM. TSM decided to ban Wamai and Nomad, if I'm not
And Wamai is still popular in North America. Interesting. That doesn't change.
Nomad ban for a Thatcher. Maverick also
The way I see Chalet is kind of like Oregon, where your bomb side, for the most part, is fairly strong with crossfires. But what you can do, what you can't really do much in Oregon, is you can actually extend out and play kind of like coastline, where like you can extend to like penthouse, or in this case, if you're playing like the master bedroom bomb, so you extend to library and vice versa. And you can have these like this one exterior position you can play and reinforce, and then waste time, and then fall back. Kind of like clubhouse, gym defense. You know, you go into server, cache, you waste time, you fall back, and then, you know. That's how I see this map play out. Bar first round, I would say Bar's the strongest bomb side. I'm happy with to see that. I like the frost as well. There are a bunch of windows in this bomb, so you can use.
Oh my, this is interesting. We're gonna have a Nook on the board.
Rampy on Nook, very spicy.
Quite a lot of play on Chalet yesterday. Now, I mean, it was the
Is that just to rat around on Chalet because the map is so big?
at that point. So
You know, you ban the Valkyrie, you got the Nook. They basically have no way of really finding you. And getting in, you can do from so many different areas.
What do you think the defining characteristic is for Chalet?
They could actually work out quite well in Chalet, I'm not gonna lie. Kind of like when Villa first came out, Nook was also played on Villa. Because you can just like walk up red stairs, walk up main stairs, walk up astro stairs, come from garage basement, you know.
Many of these positions. So for example, okay, SSD is setting up for Solarium over, right? That's a north side to south side clear.
I mean, yeah, so chat with 16 on DPI. 16 on DPI doesn't make a difference, sir. DPI is a measurement of speed. Whether you play 4, 800, 16, or 32, it's the same thing.
They're gonna need to have at least one of those floors covered, probably.
We have Solo Bolo achieved.
And he's gonna need to assist multiple different floors in that hold.
The thing about basement that's so nice is that with the blue rotate that you see here, you can actually like get away from this position. You don't get stuck when they breach the soft wall outside snowmobile. So you can waste a fair amount of time, then fall back via the blue stairs to library, and you're pretty happy and sound. You wasted some time, and this staircase position still remains quite strong. Also gives you the flank option if you so want to late round.
This particular moment where, yeah, there's a lot of ground to cover. Obviously, Jackal's going to aid that.
Something to know from SSG, they only have the nades on Nook, an operator that I thought would be solo, but isn't in this current moment, and they have very little soft breeze to work with. They got smokes on the side of actually, Jackal brought a Claymore, dude. What? Okay, we're trolling Bosco. We're actually trolling. Now, NA is playing land build. I am going to assume that Bosco didn't mean to pick up a Claymore because they're playing Nomad as well. And that he was indeed supposed to have smoke grenades. Because if not, I don't know what the fuck we're doing at this point. I mean, it's not like he spent it either. He still has the Claymore in his pocket. So let's assume he was meant to pick the smoke grenades. That would have been nice to see.
Which is, start on the opposite side of the building from this bomb site. Is playing out as you would expect so far.
This is the most fun part about Siege. Guess where the fuck the kite claw is? It's like, is it above? Is it below? Is it inside office hiding somewhere? It seems like it is. It was in his desk, I think. Looked like it. This is where playing IQ is very nice. But if you play IQ, you're going to be sacrificing something else. Either nades or smoke grenades, and it sucks. Bosco still hasn't used that Claymore, so it can't be that important.
Just say library, it's fine. So the first storage. Bolo had been critical upstairs in library against Mirage just yesterday, so well.
TSM wasting a bunch of time, sitting back tight. This is where the bomb side strength comes in handy. There's a lot of crossfire, a lot of strong positions, and with the limited-ish vertical play that SSG has, although I will say they've used all their soft breaches on both, on the Ash, and they got Jackal shotguns, so they can get rid of some positions. Plan is coming through, can't see where. Fragment on Bosco and falls on Chieftain Geo. And just like that, bomb goes down. It's fireplace door, the right hand side. It's ideally where you want to have some sort of bomb denial, a C4 or a smoke grenade, but neither is had on the TSM side of things. Merc has a bulletproof, and I believe Achieved had a C4. Or maybe actually man had impacts because there is no shotgun around besides the Frost. Did he have a C4? I want to check. I forgot you can scroll in full screen nowadays. He did have a C4. He did.
20 seconds means that the pace is going to need to hasten at this point. And SSG are just a couple steps away.
TSM might play a bit far back here, like they don't have much to challenge with. The second they walk out, they get fried. You see, like, Geo swings the hallway, dies. Achieved, I assume flanked, died. And then Merc is like alone on site, holding a dead angle with no C4. Like 4 seconds left, basically 2v5. It is a bit iffy, right? Because are you swinging? Are you not swinging? Like, are you gonna walk in? Are you gonna plan? Like, are you just hoping they run out of time? There's no clear win condition here. A lot of solo peaks.
He's got very little bullets in that Roni before it needs to be reloaded to engage upon. Creeping up the hallway towards gaming door. He'll jiggle
now the swingaroo comes out, but it's a wee bit too late. Wee bit.
And the Nook is the one credited.
Luke's the hype man. Man got the bomb down. Good job. Good job.
Scroll shelves.
It's crazy because in ranked, for example, the way that this plays out is so different than here.
Great execution there from SSG. They were masterful in their control game.
Watch many Frost picks lately. I mean, Frost got buffed, right? She has a 1.5x on her primary. She has a secondary shotgun now, which is a recent addition, and she brings a shield. So they changed to the Omai Goyo Jaeger meta, and with the addition of playing maps that has windows, like Clubhouse and like Chalet, she's quite popular. Her getting mirror shotgun on secondary was massive for her. Her getting 1.5x on the primary, massive for her. She's like a mini smoke, What's the stuff in their hands? It's their hand warmers. They can either be like some small squishy thingies, or they can be like a plasticky, like electric hand warmer.
That's what that is right there. Beautiful stuff from SSG. They are making progress on this very new map, and I have to think that that's part of what the part of the VOD review that they must have done on TSM.
So yeah, they're extending out into kitchen now. So we spoke about this earlier. On Chalet, it seems like the meta is that you have your bomb site, that's primary, and then you have like a secondary position on the map that is like reinforced, like shields, utility, reinforcements.
For SSG,
And
obviously getting
they
a couple
do
of
have
wins to start off
Mr.
against TSM is
Bolo
going to be a good motivator here.
extending
I
out
think
into this
many
position.
people were probably surprised with the
So you're
results
trying to
against the
hold like
Suns
as much of the map as
yesterday. Matt and
possible
I would be
with a
included
few
in
like
that
rendezvous
camp.
points to like be
That'd a
safe.
relatively fair
And then again,
matchup,
waste
but
time,
I
kill drones,
suspected that SSG was gonna come out
hope
on
for the
top. I
best.
noticed this. So yesterday,
But you
Fatigue
don't really have a
was
whole lot of
running
areas to
Yellow,
actually
and
fight
today
people
he's running
comfortably, I
Mine.
would say.
Let's go.
Which is pretty cool. Yesterday he had the Kickstarter.
I don't want the studio on LAN. No, it's AC. It's very cold as shit. You'd be surprised, but when you're sitting down as a gamer, because you're not moving or anything, you don't have any blood really flowing, you're not walking around or anything, it gets really, really cold. When you're in the audience, it's usually like warm-ish, but on the stage as a player, it's fucking freezing, dude. Especially on your hands, not really anywhere else. Like, you'll be sweating on your armpits, but your hands will be cold. It's the worst. And apparently the Hybex Arena, which is where they're playing, the warm-up area is super warm, but the stage is super cold, is what I see on Twitter.
It doesn't really matter.
And it's not like there's a big crowd to bring some heat, right? It's pretty empty because COVID, so if anything, you got AC blasting and no movement.
Of course, you just saw Bolo running his own charm, great paired with the amethyst skin as he's running. And this is, by the way, a plea to the devs.
You should get floor heated.
Please fix it.
Is that a thing?
It has looked very
We have floor heating here in Berlin, but we don't have any, like, we have no, like, radiators. We just have floor heat. In the winter, it's nice. Like, you walk out the shower, your floor is warm. Ah. You just want to lay down on it, you know?
I feel bad because I've got the red charm, or the red, the red charm and the red gem skin, and it looks all glowy and shiny and sharp, and then the amethyst is like potato.
Potato.
The amethyst skin
Dang it,
should look
Tyler.
like Thanos, but it actually looks more like Barney. Like it's the wrong purple.
It is the wrong purple, dude.
There it is, right there.
It's
in
true.
Clear sight. Anyway, as we're talking
Not
about all of
false.
this, you might be wondering, why aren't you talking about the game? Well, because
Man's got the Thanos skin.
It's been just over 2 minutes now, and there's been some tense moments, but there's
Trying to flank a staircase like they are is so fucking dire. Full sneak aside here, there's a pretty big position to enable the push. And so it is. Any silent hatch droppers? Question mark. Luke comes down with a plant. Force is playing the bait. Bolo picks him off. Again, no plant denied. No smokes came out. No C4s went flying in the right position. Charlotte did die with 2 smokes in his pocket. A Chief did use his C4, but unsuccessfully so. And it's gonna come to a post plant and refragability, but post plants on almost every single map is near impossible because they'll be sitting all the way outside and they also have vertical play at their disposal. Once this bomb goes down, it's practically a lost round in most cases, unless... Nope, this lost. So what you want to do as TSM Heroes is you want to try and play for the plant deny, right? They're not consistent in their own game super hard, they keep falling back. Don't have any way to kill the planter, so they're gonna try and win it in the post plant, which is not really your win condition. The second that bomb goes down, SSG is laughing because it's actually free. It's very much like consulate basement, where if you plant as an attacker, you win. It's that simple because there's a breach to the outside world right next to the diffuser. Apparently, plans are silent on land build. I mean, they usually are. It is very hard to hear people planting in siege or dropping hatches.
What we expect to see from them.
It is quite challenging.
It's possible that SSG's having a slow start to
But that's why I need info, or you gotta have something to
very
stall them, like the smoke grenades,
and well executed
for example.
attacks from SSG with almost no holes in those executions. A big part of that for me is the size of the map. Obviously, a map like Chalet, it's going to be a map that favors the strategy of teams over just fragging prowess.
Usually land build has good sound though, I will say.
With that,
Usually.
I think SSG is probably one of the best teams in that
Usually.
department. On top of that, you've also
I remember
got
we'd go to like
you're playing
online
a team that
siege for like a
is one of the
season.
only
I
teams
borrowed the
who
same
are
claw again, by the way.
playing
Something to note.
And yeah,
And sound is so bad. Then you go to like a LAN event and you get like the LAN build and sound is like amazing. You're like, oh my god, dude, give me this sound all the
And I
time.
think that these last
You
two
wish.
rounds have clearly displayed that they came prepared.
Because they are playing a different build. everything on LAN works differently. Like certain boost spots don't work, certain one-way angles don't work. There was this crazy angle on border back before it got reworked that would only work on LAN. You could like boost yourself legally into the office, like the skylight on office, and you could see people bandit tricking triple wall, and you could see into fountain from the roof. But on online Pro League that didn't work. But it did work on LAN. So back in the day when code wasn't a thing, we had this like big checklist in G2 of things to test when we got to LAN, because it just worked differently, you know. Yeah, I do, Mitten. I can find it at least.
But the first round and now this, he was picked off, and that's just because of the way that they're positioning Bolo on this map and the position that he's holding above. They're going to take some chances, though, as it's Merc next in line on Solarium.
Any silent repose? Oh, Merc fighting the entire world there. TSM again getting picked off one by one. First Bolo, second Merc. They almost traded 2v2, seeing as Fultz is on a single point of health. But generally speaking, they have 2 guys far front forward and 3 guys really far in the back. Very isolated, very separated. No, I didn't feed you. Did you finish stream? Was it good?
So strategically, a huge adjustment for TSM as they committed to the roam. And last time we saw TSM go to the ball, they didn't. They fell back as soon as they were feeling pressured by SSG. Now, as clearly displayed, that committing to the roam decision was not the right one. But it's it's a big question now. What is the right decision for TSM? Because everything they're doing is being punished. They lost all 3 of their roamers.
That's beautiful. It's not the classic cabinet thingy.
But still man advantage for SSG and control advantage now.
Newt.
And now they're in a similar situation to the last time they defended Bar.
Newt's a cuck. That's what he is, dude. He's a cuck.
SSG is poised to
Chaz wall hacking. Do you guys see that?
Get that plan off.
Man is literally wall hacking.
In a similar situation to the last time.
Wall hacking his own teammate, I think it is. That is so sus, dude. Look at this. Man is cheating on stream. Disgusting.
And play the objective as they have done over the last 2 rounds.
I can't believe it. Caught in 4K, dude.
Working out very well for SSG on this, and I think you're absolutely correct in your assessment. We'll see what breaks down as now Luke.
Oh, that is a beautiful refrag from Finkenade. Jesus. Chala wins these 2 though. I've seen it. 1v1. Gotta bring it back here, boys. 15 seconds left. Man is better. Bulletproof and default are up, and the shot comes through. Chala is indeed the better player. Look at this crazy refrag from Finkenade though. This is insane. That is just beautiful. Absolutely round-defining refrag. Excellently played. In other words, thinking I was like, yo, Luke, walk forward, idiot. He's like, okay. He's like, ha, get refragged, idiot. And then he loses the round, but, you know, that's the life of a support player, dude. You go first. Luke has breached the walls. He's done his job. He's gonna go in first, get slaughtered, only to get refragged. Literally the life of a support player.
I know at that point that you've got a lot of things to take care of, but when you're getting constantly spam pinged and calls are the way it is, calls are the way it are. Whatever the word is.
Is Sport Open in TCHD? I'm curious here. No. Look at Bosco's health. On Luke's health, sorry. It looks like it's only 2 bullets. Like heat drag wise.
Calls are the way it is.
It looks weird.
Whatever the word is.
They are.
Calls are the way they are.
Yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure Merc has some of the best flicks in the game. His flicks are clean. I mean, Bolo too, no doubt. But I always admired Merc's like flicks. They always look so clean. When Merc first joined TSM, I think a lot of people were like impressed with him. Didn't expect much from him. I was always like, yeah, that dude's got nice flicks.
It took 2 cracks at it, but TSM seems to have found their footing, at least on that bomb site. Because they won it, though, it's locked, and they're not going to go back downstairs to Wine Cellar and Snowmobile Garage. They're going to go upstairs to Master, the office bomb site. That's going to be played out here. It's going to be interesting to see the way that SSG takes it, because right now the meta on Chalet breaks down in 1 of 2 ways. Either teams go all in on the Solarium and take the wall leading into Closet. As you can see, it's right there. That's the wall that leads from Solarium into Master. It's facing the Closet door. As well, The teams will often sit somebody in closet. You can put a rotate in there or a late rotate if you need to, if there's a maestro on the board, to allow them to rotate.
Charles
in
is
and
11
out.
Joe Goat.
So you can
He
see
might be.
there's no maestro being played by
Is he
TSM,
though?
so maybe
Is he
somebody else
though?
will take up that mantle. We don't exactly know. Or teams
Is
will
he the
take over by
goat?
chimney and will take towards the library hall,
Manga,
towards the top of library stairs. There isn't really much else that tends to happen on this bomb site, and the problem with this bomb site is that once you get flushed out of
What
your
gun do I
position,
want to put
as long as you
Charm
don't
on?
have
Jess
enough
already
map
has
control
SMG
down
11
below,
and
or there's
Terror
not
has
enough time to just
MP5.
simply win in gunfights,
Ah,
you
in
have nowhere to
Charmers?
go, essentially,
How
and that
about
breaks loose very quickly.
Ella? Dead memes. Put the
once more,
charm on
commitment
Ella,
from
dude.
Rome from TSM, obviously on a different
Have fun
site
with that.
now. We do not have a Jackal anymore for SSG. They have decided to.
I love that
let that one
Bosco's
slip
playing
into
Ying
the
here.
night, and they'll bring
Again,
in
SSG
Ying.
further playing into their
Interesting.
win condition, that is
Tiana
the
is gonna
execute. The
continue
thing
to
about the
be
Ying is that
different.
Ying is
Seems to be
also
more of a staple in
excels
the
at
AOS
roam
lane.
clearing. If there's a guy in a
Ball
room
gets thrown
somewhere,
out
you throw that
in
Candela in,
stop
and
for
he will very
storage.
quickly either leave or be fully
But
blinded.
he's just gonna persist there.
That's
And
why Ying is
Joki
such an
doesn't need to
underrated and
move
super
because he's
flexible
got the
operator,
Moss Pest on the window,
because you can
get the next
simply
drone,
just
he's
do
got support from
everything with her.
backstairs from a
Plus, you
team.
get smokes.
TSM
It's
are
like
just
giga
trying
stocks
to
value.
hold this one as long as they can,
And if you're a
because
good
they
gunner
know
like
if SSG
Bosco,
allows
then you also
them,
hit
they're
hits.
likely to lose the round.
And you can plant. It is great, dude.
I think one of the big keys for TSM as well is going to be
If
more
I was a coach or a
effectiveness
Pro League
out of
team,
Bolo. We see
I
when
would
Bolo
scream to
has a
them at
bad
4
game,
a.m.,
the rest of
waking
the
them
team
up,
tends
and be
to
like,
as
play
well.
Ying!
Now,
And then hopefully at one point they would actually fucking do it, because it is a disgrace that no team is abusing Ying. Because think about it, right? What's the number one benefit of me being in D2 on attack? Think about it. When I was in D2, what was my biggest strength on attack? Like when D2 is attacking. What is the number one thing that I bring to the team that no one else brings? Planting? Oh, this guy got it. Munty. Yes, guys. Yes. The fucking Munty. Ain't nobody gonna ban Munty against G2 now. No one is. Because no one in G2 can play Munty like I did. That's the honest truth, right? Like no one, like almost no one in the world can. I was a Munty player, so it's like Hungry, for example. Now that I'm gone in G2, that like leverage is gone. But if you can play Ying, right? And people start banning the Ying, then you play Munty. So in a perfect world, right? Think about it. In my opinion, one of the hardest teams to play against was Penta, back when Hungry was in the team. Because either you ban the Ying and he plays Munty, or you ban the Munty and he plays Ying. And Hungry is fucking nasty on both. That is something that almost no teams are abusing right now in either North America or Europe. You, in a perfect world as a team, if you can play something like Ying really great, Capital really great, Munty really great, you can quite literally just break attacks so easily, or at least differently than other teams, right? And that's something that almost no teams have right now in the scene. There's very few one tricks. Like I call it one trick ponies because like you excel at one operator. But the thing is, both Hungry and I, we played many operators, but we excelled at something like Munty and Ying that were like abnormal. I used Thanos' brother, Theranos. Yeah. So yeah, if I was a coach for a team, I would highly try and make them learn like Munty, Ying, Capital, because very few teams in Europe even play Capital, for example. It's a bit of a shame. Same goes for Clash on defense, Mirror on defense. A lot of teams don't play Mirror that well.
I think that's a better role for Bolo. He tends to perform well on either, but
It's like Dark Zero, they would play Blitz and stuff, and D2 and Penta, like we played Blitz as well. And Blitz isn't worth banning by any means, right? It really isn't worth banning. But is it worth playing? Fuck yes. Who on earth is gonna expect a Blitz to be running at you in a Pro League game? We did it against TSM at Raleigh Major, and we played it on Cafe against what, Virtus Pro I think it was, in Europe, and they got deleted.
hard time.
Because
with,
no
like,
one
this
expected a
flat
Ying
ball.
Jackal Lion,
Utility to work
you
with now.
know,
Bosco will
blitz
start it off. Fireworks
on
getting
those
tossed
maps.
onto the bomb site as the
And as I say
Candela's
that, the
are
Ying can just come out and go
really
ratatatatata.
SSG looks to take up space.
No
With
one
a
can
bunch of kills
contest,
to their
everyone's
shovels.
blind, and Bosco, despite not getting any kills yet, is causing so much disruption and so much chaos in the midst of this that the plan will go down, the frags get found, and without any furthermore, it should just be a one round on them. The only thing that could have stopped this would be the echo in this case, but no drones are up, I assume. They're frags though, Geo, but Luke says no. Jesus, dude. Like, you know, Luke is so excited to win, but to be completely honest, Geo was reloading, dude. He wasn't even fighting. Look, reload. Ah, dude. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Man didn't have a chance. Actually, now to play Munty. And Munty is... It's a delicate operator. It's a fine balance between aggression, passiveness, information, map domination, you know, just taking control.
Again, a forced roam for TSM. They played contact and they did fall back this time, but a lot slower than you would expect. I thought TSM won on that roam.
I've seen Citizen play Munty
TSM, they'll be
before.
taking a tactical timeout while we
Because
talk.
that was like a round in a scrim or something like that where he was like, yo, Pengu, pick this, I'm gonna play Munty.
SSG were finally allowed to set up on the side
And without flaming
45
Citizen,
seconds
he's a
left on the clock.
terrible fucking
So
Munty
one
player
different
compared to like
player,
Hungry or
taking
myself
down
or, you know, Mint, for
easy to
example.
force control of PM
Like,
when you've got Ying
I
control.
sat
It
there
doesn't
and I
matter
wanted to
if you've
I wanted to
got a few
backseat
seconds
him
left on the clock.
and tell him like
Get
what
that
to do.
control. You nullify
'Cause I was
fire
like,
in the site. SSG are
what are you
alive.
doing?
Another factor,
Like, what are you
TSM,
doing?
they had players
Like, it's such a
downstairs, but
hard
just those
operator to
players
play in
figured it
Pro
out.
League.
C4.
Because one
So, okay,
misstep
you
and
go
like you
downstairs,
die,
have pre-made
and if you
holes for
don't
default
play
lands,
it
but
perfectly, you
don't
don't
have
get like the
C4 for
full
denial from
value.
below. So TSM was relying heavily on those yokai drones, which in the end are not what they used to be. And while they did delay the round for a few seconds,
Any
they did
jealousy that they
pick
get
up
to play
some
LAN every
ever so
week? I think
slightly.
everyone is jealous of North America, yeah.
Were not enough to actually
They play LAN every week. I mean, obviously,
TSM lacking a
COVID
little
kind of
control,
fucked them because it was meant to play LAN for like the last year.
players and keeping them away from the plant
When it
spots,
got announced,
even in the
like
dying
within like the pro teams that NA was getting localized, we were mad. I was like, dude, EU is the better region, and we don't get LAN, but these dumb fucks in America, they get to play LAN. I can't believe it. It makes sense. NA is one place, Europe with like the different fucking countries and laws and moving and like where's the studio gonna be? Oh, it's in Paris. It's expensive in Paris. It's like real estate in Texas or Vegas, sorry, is dirt cheap compared to Paris. It makes sense. It makes sense. I am like envious, not jealous, envious, right? And I think every pro player is. It's sick to play LAN. It brings out that hype factor, the pressure. It's like you go somewhere to play your game in Jersey, cameras. You got, you know, you got content around it, like videos, interviews. It's sick. It's sick. Then in Europe, it's like you just sit at your home and you just play. You know. Thank you, Perry, gifting Thanos' brother Therantos a sub. That is a 27 from you, good sir. Thank you very much. NA is better than EU no cap. Okay.
So
Okay.
hats off obviously to Bosco. We've seen him get played like that before where the Candelas are great at denying entry for defenders to get into the bomb sites, denying plays or retakes, etc. And it worked really well for SSG.
As an E, in case you're wondering.
Down to a 1v1 as Thinking Nade was down and Luke and Geo had to tussle. So ditto with what we saw in round number 3.
This guy said, can we not compare? Nah, dude, we're gonna compare. Use better. For sure.
Round, and there could have very easily been a win for TSM.
I could see them is doing in like the base philosophy of their roam game and Bolo Merc always playing together. It hasn't really worked yet, but I like the philosophy behind it. Like I feel like it could work, and I feel like it has worked in scrims probably. Maybe against team like Mirage, they slapped it worked a lot better because SSG's roam clear is quite nasty. And there it is, it worked. We got a kill on the board. The roam game is successful. For now.
Bolo takes a little bit of damage, but not a serious amount. He'll still have a chance, but it will be taken away by Thinking Nade. Luke takes some damage, though, from Merc, and he'll actually finish Luke off. There
Nice.
goes your hard destruction.
Merc
SSG
falls
now
back here,
without a
plays the
serious
time,
prong on
plays
their
the
attack.
consolidation here.
They're gonna have to go for frags.
Consolidate. Take the meta advantage, play the 4 versus 3. Now Rampy should try and get up top, surely, try and get some vertical play going. Surely. A bit of a shame that Bosco wasn't up top with the roam clear, because he could have scanned the vigil and they would have realized that in fact top 4 is all clear, but now they don't know. Thank you, Julian, by the way. Dogi's tweet pissed off a bunch of people. Yeah, I did. I mean, the whole NAEU drama is so pathetic because, like, who the fuck cares? And it's like we haven't had an international event in over a year because of COVID, so we don't even know. Like, who cares? Like, after Invite, you can start talking shit, dude, but Invite isn't a thing yet. A little bit of a white smear challenge. Calm down for a second, sir. Let's establish the crossfire and walk in. Smoke comes out. Bomb will start coming down, but no, Merc shuts him down from the vertical play up top. And that is the one area that SSG wish they had control over now. If you don't take the top floor map control, you will not be able to plant in set position, even if you have smoke grenades. Yeet. And there's no time.
That's all he's gonna get. Clock strike 0 and TSM will hang on a very strong defense.
The fact that Jagger can literally track people's footprints and know how hot they are is so broken. Just follow the footsteps and you don't even need to scan. Well, I mean, you can't really follow the footsteps in like 99% of scenarios, like 75% of scenarios, right? You can very, very rarely, especially in ProLeague accounts.
Is that TSM won more fights than they lost? We see TSM.
You can talk shit again when the Invitationals trophy is in their house, but now it's in America. I mean, I'm just saying. Okay. If we look across 5 years of Siege,
that round, it was a
which is the long-termtivity of it all.
One gunfight for TSM, multiple, in fact. So, well played. They managed to take down their hard destruction.
NA has only won Invite the first time around, and NA the last time around.
The wall's not getting opened up.
That's it.
Went for the only option they really had, which was that open dining.
I mean, okay, they also won Year 1 Season 3 CTM. That's it.
And yeah, I mean, well played.
That's all they've won.
TSM. That's the big difference there, because SSG have been on top of the strategy so far through this first.
EU has won
in terms of attack,
Year 1 Season 2.
And, you know, playing off of
Year 1 Season 1. Year 2 Season 1. Year 2 Season 2. Invite. Paris Major. Raleigh Major. Invite again. Milan.
You know, TSM was still on the vertical.
Japan.
And I wanted to say, vertical's actually still on OXG. But you see,
Milan, right? Didn't
let you finish.
Empire won Milan, right?
I can score cheap points later, but also because I was
right?
enjoying what you were saying. I thought that it was pretty good, so I didn't want to.
Thank you, Park.
We won. I can't even keep up with how many we won, dude.
I mean,
Yeah, Empire won, yeah.
We had lots of time, or we had very little time.
DreamHack? Yeah, I mean, yeah, DreamHack, like, of course. Canadian White Stairs? Yeah. That meme, born and bred. Oh my.
I mean, I would have.
Yeah, that sucks.
Very upset about that.
Why am I giving EU as a whole credit when it's literally G2 and a little bit of Empire? Because it's not. Like, yeah, Empire and G2 won, but when you think about it, not only... So, the thing is, right, the benefit to having, like, the best team in the world, which was Penta and G2 for, like, 3 years, in one region, is that us being in EU makes the entirety of EU stronger. If we're... So... If NA teams are here, and G2 Penta is here, that means EU overall is probably still above NA, because we practice EU teams every day. They learn from us. They get better because they learn from the fucking best. And we scrim everyone. Pro League teams, Challenger League teams, Tier 3, Tier 4 teams. We always have. And we scrim 5-6 days a week. So... Empire and G2 and BDS nowadays being as strong as they are in one singular region, it makes everyone else better because we scrim every team, right? Whereas in NA, you got the 4 same teams scrimming each other because everyone else is so fucking washed that it's a fucking rank game. It's the same reason why APAC is underdeveloped, because Fnatic needs to travel to Europe or North America to have good practice. That's why Fnatic boot camps in London, because they want to get good practice so they don't scrim in APAC. They actually move for multiple weeks at a time to a different location to get good practice before tournaments because APAC doesn't bring it. Right? So, yes, it's only Empire and D2 that's one stuff pretty much, but it's not just us carrying Europe. Like, we have made Europe so good by being the best because we learn, we teach, right? And if my team weren't gonna win, I could proudly say that probably multiple other EU teams could win instead because we've made them good, right?
Seriously, I don't
It's the same reason why back when Empire and D2 was like the two best teams in Europe, we never scrimmed one another. Because Empire didn't want us to know their strats and how they play and vice versa. And that's the only bad thing about having two good teams in one region, is that their own like selfish ego of wanting to be the best team will hold each other back in the region back because they don't want to scrim each other, because they want to beat each other, right? Like look at chess, like let's say like the Queen's Gambit, I don't know if you guys saw it, but in that movie they speak about how the Russians will help each other win, so Russia wins. Whereas in North America, they don't give a shit about America winning. They care about themselves winning. So if you're out of the tournament, you don't give a shit about helping the next guy in the line. But if you're Russian and you lose, you help the next Russian in line because then Russia wins, right? That's the same way I see Siege. If I am strong in Europe, I will make every other European team stronger because that's how they benefit.
It's back and forth here, but in the end, Space Station definitely taking the lead on those gunfights to get that control. Rotation from Merc.
Rivalry is stupid. It is stupid. I agree. But it's good for fan story and story building. You know, CTM Penta era storytelling, EUNA, like that was a great story. It's still the most viewed game. It's still the most spoken of game probably, for many reasons, but EUNA rivalry was one of them. That big window repel, by the way, is so hard to play against. It is disgusting, and there's nothing you can do about it except running it down into trench. But yeah.
The attackers like playing off it. Well, so far that stands to reason. SSG puts in a great performance in that first half.
Some Walrus asked, what's the biggest misplay that I have done in Pro League? I don't know, to be honest. I don't think I've had like massive mistakes in my career, like massive. I mean, there's been like rounds where like, you know, I missed an easy shot or I made the wrong decision or like I greeded for a kill or... But I don't think... So one, I've never dropped a donut ever, I don't think. That I can remember, I've never dropped 0 kills in my entire career. Never. And I don't personally recall a moment where like, you know, Canadian White Stairs. I don't think I've had a moment like that. You know, like a complete game-defining negative moment. I don't think I have. Somebody fact check it? I did last time I streamed. Somebody in chat asked if I've dropped a donut before. And I spoke with chat about it, and nobody could ever name a game where I did. There was 2 games where I had 0 kills, but I killed somebody that was injured, so I got 1 kill. But I didn't technically kill him, I just finished him, right? But on the scoreboard, I had 1 kill. That's happened twice. It was IM Katowice 2016 like, on console against G-Bots, and it happened against Team Fund in year 2 season 1 again on border. Those 2 times I dropped 1 kill. I mean, I might have multiple other times, but I didn't kill anyone. I just killed an injured guy.
SSG are reading into the way that TSM are setting up on a lot of these sites, but now it's TSM's turn. They get to go on to attack, and they get to see what kind of...
Anna's an interesting operator, barely used in my ranked lobbies, yet in pro play she's used often. She's starting to get used more often, yeah? I mean, you get the... So the thing is, she straight counters the Aruni gates. She gives you quote-unquote infinite droning, with a cooldown, of course. She brings nades. She's mostly used on maps like Coastline, Oregon, and now we see her as well a bit on Chalet. I think we've seen her a little bit on also Clubhouse by 2 teams, but she's still a bit of a niche pick. Or like a Rooney
You know,
counter.
it was a nice idea.
Because like
Parker.
you might as well just bring the sledge from Maverick for nades, you know. Oh, thinking nade.
Muscle memory fails him on that one. He
Sad.
thinks he's done enough to take out Bolo, or
Is
it's
that a
just
how's he
simply
not dead
fun
moment, you
he
know? And he
was
stopped
off at the
shooting.
wrong time. So the entry for TSM
Sad.
turns out in their favor. Bolo is having a bit of a rough game, as is achieved. Right now, it's the support slash flex players.
What's
for
the thing in the
TSM
players'
that are
hands? Hand
keeping
warmers, my
this
guy.
team
Hand
in.
warmers.
Despite the fact that they're trailing in the scoreline, things would be even worse if all was quiet.
They
from the
are indeed
supports.
hand
So
warmers.
TSM will now
Electric
need to
ones,
reposition.
those
They've got a
ones.
Jackal as well, and you can see they've managed
The
to
Gone
bring
6 a
one
game
player of
changer? Oh yeah,
SSG
true. Ana has the
outside.
Gone 6
We know
now.
that SSG
So
appears
she
to
brings
have three
nades, the
bodies
Gone
off-site.
6,
Of
and
the
a
four
gadget.
remaining, this could be particularly
So she
deadly
has as
if
much
TSM
explosive
doesn't
as
find the
Ash.
connection
She has
within
more than
10
Sophia.
seconds.
And you get nades. So yeah, I mean pretty big. Pretty big. I keep forgetting the Gone 6 is in the game because you don't see it in ranked like ever. Like I don't think I've ever seen it.
Somewhere. Snowmobile still seems to
I
be
thought it was
the
a sweat
focal point.
absorber? No, you just
The
get a
field
towel
in
for
blue
that. What do you
is
mean?
really causing an issue for
A
Merc. He
sweat
wants to
absorber,
counter,
also known as a
but
towel.
there's all three ADSs
Yep,
on
yep.
this corner.
Oh,
Wow,
Bosco
wide
swinging
swing from
deep
Bosco
gets
is
punished by Merc. That's a
and the
very
plan's
big
going
kill because
down.
now Plan control down from
Cut
blue,
drone, yes,
and
but it only
retaking
manages
blue
to delay
control
one
is going to be very
coordinated
difficult with
shot.
Merc there roaming
Will
around.
also get ramping, meaning that Luke and Fultz need to retake it to Snowmobile
To be
and
fair,
get
SSG
5
was in a
kills.
man disadvantage, so they had to get something
40
for the
seconds
round, and
Luke's
Bosco
gonna try
tried
for a
his
nice
dearest and
fake out,
tried his
Merc's
best,
just
but it
better,
was
and he gets that
cut
headshot
short by Mr.
despite
Merc himself.
barely being around the corner. Fultz trying
And
to
Fultz
avoid a
finds on the
flawless
1v5
round,
in
but I don't even know if
kitchen,
that's
running for
gonna
his dear
happen.
life.
Bolo and Shala are low, but what does that really
A
matter?
basement
Round
on this map
certainly
really
here
hasn't
for
changed, huh?
TSM.
This is just
They
like
go for
straight
a
out of
similar
ranked.
strategy to
This is
the
what I
round
do in
that we
ranked. You
saw
breach the
from
wall,
SSG
you
when
take
they were
blue,
attacking
you
the first
plant.
rounds of the first
There's
half.
just nothing you can do about it. And then like if you wanna go a step further, you can, like take lobby fireplace and like do vertical play and stuff, you know.
Really move a muscle. There's no economy
Thank you, Lex.
system, there's no momentum system, so he doesn't
Do
need
I
to
think
worry
TSM
at all
could
about
benefit from
losing
replacing
anything by
Merc
not
as he
really
rarely
losing
plays really
much.
well?
He just simply
Um,
played a flawless round.
Merc and I think Merc and Kento are quite similar. Like they excel when they excel, and then like they're pretty average or mediocre or maybe even a bit below average. Sometimes else. So if you average out their performance, they're gonna be less than average probably, right? Because they're not consistent. But I don't think the question should be, should Merc get kicked because he's not good, right? Because obviously he is good. Who would replace Merc if you kicked him? Because not only you can't just kick Merc for being bad, you need to have somebody better to take his spot, right?
That's an impressive number from both teams.
Thank you,
But also
Supreme.
suggests
Bolo
to
spin.
me that the defense aren't
Slash?
entirely comfortable yet
Slash
with
would
that.
never work. Slash is like, Slash would replace Chala if anything. Or Pojo back when Pojo first left, right? Or became coach. Slash is like a IGL, not a gunner. Doesn't even fit the playstyle of TSM that I can see. And TSM doesn't need an IGL either, as far as I know.
For both teams. And
I would replace him. Oh, I would replace him. Chat, I'm retired. I can't replace anybody. I'm washed.
But we're seeing a lot of execution.
I can't
that
replace
are
him.
hard for the defense to counter.
How's Merc bad? I'm not saying he's bad. Chat was saying he was bad.
Why is Echo
And then I'm asking Chat, well, if he's that bad, who's gonna be, like, who's better? Who's gonna replace him? And Chat's like saying me, but I'm retired. Like they don't even have like a proper replacement. Like I don't work.
For example, Snowmobile, right? If the attack opens up
Like,
Snowmobile,
hello?
contains the vertical, and prevents
Trade for Hyber? That's also, again, Hyber would be a great replacement. No joke. It would be a possible replacement, not great. That's like demeaning to Merc and like, you know. But that's not really a possibility. If Hyber was a free agent, not on Dark Zero, obviously you could be like, oh, CSM, Hyber? Question mark? You know? But no. Like I think iconic, hyper, like a gunner. Like you need a gunner to replace him because Merc's a gunner, right? But to be completely honest, I don't think Merc should be replaced, not currently at least. I think one, it's way too early to tell, and two, Merc isn't playing bad all the freaking time. The few games I have seen, he's been doing either fine or great. And more importantly, we don't know how much Merc might or might not help out with TSM behind the scenes, whether it's strategy, communication, ideas, etc.
first-hand experience with the
No matter
Super
how
Matches of
poorly
Chalet, or
Bolo
longest 1.5
plays,
matches of Chalet we've casted,
very few people are gonna
most of
say
the
Bolo
pros
should get
and
replaced,
analysts
you know?
tend to be
There's
pretty
like some
bang on it,
bias there.
so
Same with myself.
kudos to them.
Same with
It's been
Shaiko.
extremely
Like, Shaiko
helpful
had
for us
a
and
pretty
for other
fucking
teams
mediocre
behind, sure, to
season
try and get a sense of the
2 seasons
madness
ago, I
that
think
the
it
map
was.
provides.
No one really said Shaiko was washed or should get replaced, but he played really poorly for a while.
So
The pro
Exo
players
can
spoke
open up
about
the
it.
wall there.
You know, he was playing other
There are
games a lot
two
and not
gates
Siege, and he
on
was
the
playing
other
worse in
side of
Siege.
that wall, so more clear
But
work
nobody
needs to
really
be
spoke
done there
openly
for
about how
TSM
like
to
bad
get
he
the
had
result that they
become.
want.
And then
We've seen
he
this
came
team
back and
come
grinded, and
here
he screwed again, you know?
crossfire from a lot of
And I think every
teams,
player should get that
with the
same benefit of the
shields
DAL, where it's like,
support,
okay,
and we're
you're
gonna see
not the
again here
greatest
from
right now, but
SSG. Clear going
is
in
there
to get rid of the
potential?
shields.
Merc has
The nade
potential.
lands. The question is, did it land on the shield?
Like,
The
Merc's
answer,
been great
no.
before.
Second nade goes in. This one will work.
Like, Kanto hasn't had the
Job done
best
now.
season the
Also has to
last,
play a lot safer on these back
you know,
stairs
8 months.
for fear of him being
He's still in
dispatched by a
T2.
headshot. If there's any teams
Because
who
we
feel
all
like
know
that's
that
how
Kanto
bad it was,
can be
it's them.
insane. Might become insane again. But right now, he's gotta grind it and flesh it out and figure out why is he not currently insane. Because, to be honest, Kanto, you know, he hasn't been. He's been great, but he hasn't been Kanto. A lot of people, they say that Kanto on LAN is a beast. But that's an excuse. I mean, he might be, and yeah, he is. But we're not on LAN. No one is. So we gotta adapt, right? These shields are nasty from SSG, and they are deadly as hell. TSM not dealing with them appropriately and get shut down on them. SSG investing a bit more on that top floor hold, and of course SSG themselves cleared from library side of things, whereas TSM are clearing from the master bedroom side of things mainly. SSG also came from master, but they did have some pressure on the balcony, I believe. My memory serves me right. TSM kind of fleshed and flushed through 2 shields at once. Now they did have a chief there, fair enough. Man didn't live there very long though.
And to be fair, we've only seen one, you know, execution from TSM, and it was very precise.
You see how mean people are to Luke, even though he's not even supposed to be playing? Yeah.
That round,
Yeah.
TSM just walked into
The thing is, Luke isn't like the impossible. He's not a player. He's an analyst, right?
walked into crossfire and died.
He's only really there because Troy ended up retiring in like a very
There are other
unfortunate
ways,
circumstance
sure,
of
to
timing
balance
and
that,
like,
you
you know,
you can
open roster
probably
changes and stuff.
afford to put more pressure on K9, open up the other wall to Chimney.
Yeah.
Maybe fight from the front door to make playing by Chimney a little bit more difficult. Maybe get a pick onto the players trying to assist that hold. I'm not sure, but there have got to be other options.
I don't know. Luke is doing a great job, to be honest. Like, if you look at it on like the scoreboard, and if you look at it from like the plans and stuff,
I don't know. It's just
Luke is replacing Canadian quite well.
push from TSM.
Like, he's putting in the drone work, the plant work, the support work. He's probably not IGLing a whole lot, because that doesn't just come to you without experience, of course. But, you know, he's doing his best impersonation of support Canadian. And that's really all you can do. And if it doesn't work out, if Luke doesn't turn out to be as great as a player that SSG needs, well then after Invitationals in May, SSG will most likely look for a new player. But until then, it is actually the best option they have is Luke, and they believe in Luke. In worst case, Luke gets to play every person's fucking dream to play in Pro League. Every analyst and every coach wish at some point, most likely, that they played in Pro League. Maybe with the exception of Shaz, because Shaz is not... He's not fit for... He's not a gunner. He's not fit for Pro League. But yeah, like Farrell, for example, like our young analyst we had, who was like 18 at the time, his dream was to play Pro League. You know? But he was an analyst for us. So I let him play one game in my place so that he could experience what it was like to be a player. So he played against Supremacy, that one game on Coastline. He later then joined Secret and played and stuff, but...
TSM likely know where they want to go, and they'll ensure that there's going to be no flank that they'll have to deal with.
Diesel did and wrecked DG. I mean, Diesel was owning. But that was just like Diesel was insane. I don't know.
And they've got the explosives in
It's kind of absurd, actually.
So, while TSM have been fairly efficient on this execution thus far,
When we see some of the best players struggle, I think it's most of their own doing, so competition is getting better. It's both. Competition is getting better. There's a lot of like crotch operators, you know, traps, etc., like shields, one-way angles, bullet holes, one-way headshot, or one-shot headshots. But there's also just like the matter of like you can't always be the best. No matter how hard you train, no matter how good you are, you cannot be the best player every single play day. I don't even think you can be the best, version of yourself every play day. Think about, thank you, Mr. Papa Loons, by the way, with you too. Think about yourself. When you wake up today, did you wake up thinking, I'm gonna have a great day, or I'm gonna have a bad day, or did you feel average about it? And then, what about tomorrow? Do you wake up feeling great? Do you wake up feeling bad? Do you wake up feeling average? Some days I wake up and I just want to die. I just want to like not be. I just want to like sleep forever. Or like sleep for like a day. And sometimes I wake up and I want to conquer the world. I want to do 20 streams and 20 videos, and I have all these ideas and creativity and motivation. And some days I wake up feeling like I just want to order pizza and not even talk to anyone, right? Being in Pro League is the sin. Like, you wake up one day and you're just not gonna be the best version of yourself. You're not gonna hit crazy headshots. You're not gonna make the best decisions. You're not gonna have the fast reaction time. And then you sleep, and the next day you wake up, you have all the things. And that's why, as a Pro League player, and even as a competitor in like regular sports, you have like a routine. You eat the same couple of meals. You have the same, sleeping time and wake up time. You have a morning routine that you do to ensure that you wake up the same way with the same habits, so that your mind and that your mood gets the same way, so that you know what the formula is to be a fucking killer at your job. That is why you have routines and habits integrated so deeply into your performance, right? And that's just life in general. If you wake up with like 5 hours of sleep, you're in a rush, your day already started bad. If you wake up 2 hours beforehand, you have this, like, you're gonna take a shower, then get breakfast, then do like skincare routine, then you're gonna get some tea, have half an hour for yourself of alone time, get into like your zen mode, and you go to work. You're much better prepared and ready to take on the day. If you wake up and get out of your pajamas and put on like a fucking, dress shirt, nice pants, shoes, like, and you do your hair, you're now ready to take on the world and take on the day. Whereas if you wake up in your pajamas and you don't really brush your teeth, you don't shower, your hair's a mess, you're a bit of a bum. And your mood is going to be a bit of a bum too, most likely, right? You're not ready for it. So there's like those aspects for sure. And that's kind of weird because as esports players, they're 18, they go to bed like 6 a.m, then they sleep for either 12 hours or 4 hours, and they wake up with the most fucked up sleep schedule. They eat junk food, have energy drinks, bunch of sugar, no exercise. They don't really scream performance, right? They don't. And when you're 18, 19, 20, 21, I think the body just doesn't give a shit. When I was 18, I could play Siege 16, 17 hours a day, sleep for 3 hours, and wake up and do it all again. I wouldn't even give a shit. Now, I'll get back pain because of bad posture. I'll have to take a nasty poop because my digestion is worse. If I eat too much sugar, I'm gonna start shaking. I'm gonna gain or lose weight depending on if I eat or don't eat. Like, everything's bad. I gotta worry about sleep, diet, exercise, health, because I'm 23 now. The body doesn't accept it the same way anymore. That's the boomer life. But it's not so much that I'm changed, right? It's more that the young guys that are only 18, they haven't reached that area of life yet. It's like puberty time, like the second puberty stage, right? First, your voice goes like, hey guys, to hey guys, right? And the second time around, you get belly fat and you need sleep. You need rest. So a lot of these young gunners, they will live this lifestyle, and out of nowhere, they get hit with like bad performance, depression, anxiety. They gain 20 pounds, and they're like, what happened, dude? And to be honest, it's not that anything changed. The issue is that nothing changed. They kept living that same lifestyle that they once could endure, that they no longer can. And I changed my lifestyle massively when I was about 21, 22, because I had to. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to play in Pro League anymore. Or at least have like a good performance in Pro League. So I'm like a 50. Being 23 in esports is like your 50. So yeah, same thing. Retirement age and the median, like average, is 23.
In this case, TSM does
A lot of people only play for a couple years, and most importantly, very few people play at the top like I have, as successfully as I have, for very long. Look at the average pro league career. How much have they won, and how long have they played for? You know? More and more people that used to play Siege back in year 1 are quitting, or retiring, or stepping down. And many of those haven't won a single tournament before. It is what it is. I got you to drink water? I drink water. What? Of course I do. You didn't make me. My mama taught me that. Falls on me 4. Winnable? Oh wait, big window repel. Not winnable. I take it back. This repel is all the double peak. Beautiful refragability. Love to see it. Oldest R6 pro player? I think it's Rise, who's 28 or 27. I think he's 28 or 27.
And I think
That's like my guess. Rise from... Rise is
for SSG. The execution there for TSM was great.
Is Rise a free agent? Where is Rise?
From SSG, but the margin
Vitality? Vitality.
I mean,
Vitality.
like, for example, that mirror
There we go.
window
Vitality.
facing
He's on
the flood.
Vitality.
Great mirror window, right? Oh, cool. We can see into Solarium. We can see the.
I think he's the oldest player.
You can't peek it.
If I had to guess, because he's like late
Peeking
20s.
that is like a death sentence.
Hey, he's
if you're
28.
being
Oh, dude,
shot
I'm
from the
spot on,
staircase.
dude.
And with the pressure being applied
How old is
from the window
Super?
by Chi,
Super's in his prime.
can't move at all.
Doesn't
Like,
matter
you're
what
stuck on that
age he
mirror
is.
window, basically. So,
I actually
that
don't know
matters
how old
too.
he is, though. I have no
Same
idea.
thing. If Achieved is on big window repel,
But I'm sure
that
Manchild
backdoor shield
would be
is
fitting
useless. You
regardless
can't
of
play
his
it.
age.
So all that counter setup we
Um,
saw from SSG
yeah.
looked cool, but because Achieved
BZ
was on the
isn't a
big
player?
window,
No,
I know
he's
he only
not.
got one kill from there,
Shate's
but because
retired.
he was on the big window, essentially, it was all
BZ's a coach,
useless.
not a player.
And that's just good strategic awareness from TSM.
Any rehosts?
Have you noticed,
there we go.
by the way?
Probably.
Sorry?
Probably.
You have no idea what I'm going to say.
I know, but I don't know. I'm paying attention. Go ahead, though. Let's hear.
Doo-doo. Live
There are so
accelerating
many-
after
now that
20?
you
It
interrupted
does.
me, there are
It does.
so many
Wait,
things
Lax
I
is
could just
32?
say,
No,
but I
dude.
know you wouldn't
Fuck
notice.
off. Lax is
Yeah, but I
not
wanna hear what you
32.
were
Are you
actually gonna say.
serious?
Well, do I want to confuse you now, or do I?
You
wanna-
mean
Well,
23, right? You got the numbers wrong.
I was gonna
Now,
say,
Lax has to be like,
do you
I would guess
notice
24,
how
late, like
TSM
at the
is
latest
playing
25.
So much more reserved against Space Station than they did against Mirage. And
Oh, Lax is
I wonder
24?
How much of it is just simply that
I don't think he's 23.
TSM knows that SSG
I'm pretty sure he's like a
is not
bit older than I
team they
am,
can
like a tiny
bully
bit.
the same way that they can bully Mirage.
Oh, 24 soon. Fair.
I am
Fair.
noticing.
So he is a
Now
tiny
that-
bit older
I
than I
don't
am,
know,
but
actually,
same year.
Parker, to be honest, now that you bring it up, yeah, maybe not. Like reservation, sure, like maybe. A little bit more passivity. I think respect is the right word.
Respect.
Would you say that's fair?
I definitely think that when you look at a team like SSG, you have to respect.
I think Bosco's the only person that could match my career-wise if he went to an invitational. We call it the internet. So it's invitationals in this game. It's international in Dota. But I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I don't know. I think Bosco. I mean, Bosco's one invite on console and then invite on PC. That's extremely impressive.
I think he's performed as well as you
And the thing is, right? If someone like Canadian who's now retired, or Fabian who's now retired, or Gogo who's now retired, or you know, if they won an invitationals, they would be the most renowned player in Siege. And the only other person that's even close to any of us is basically Bosco. Let's say Bosco retired today. No one is close to achieving anything remotely close to what we have in like, you know, Canadian, the players I just named, right? Like they're so far behind because it's been the same players like thriving and winning. And that's crazy to think about. If Canadian, Fabian, me, Goga, you know, Shate or like whatever, Kento, if we won an invite, we would be 3 for the first time ever. If Bosco wins, technically he has 3, 2 on PC, right? But if anyone else won, they would have their first. They would need 3 years winning back to back to back to back to like, well, they can't find it. Oh no, Murky boy. I hate Kai close that reason. Kento has 1.
We've got
Kento has
a lot of trouble from this Kaid Electroclaw. And I
Yeah,
think
only
on
has
the other
one,
side of that little
actually.
pillar, Merc might have gotten it just now. With that destroyed,
True.
they'll be able to open up the wall and start to apply pressure to the top of backstairs.
Like that Goishi on chimney? Yeah, I like it, Han. The Goishi on chimney with the one on top of the library stairs. Crazy crossfire.
Piano control. There's an Aruni gate they'll need to
The
deal
thing is,
with.
the
They'll
chimney one is really
sacrifice
easier to
one of the
deal
Onyx
with
bombs
because
to
you can
take
clear
care
from
of it. So we'll
K9.
Bolo just use that utility
But
instead of a flash or a
TSM
grenade or
isn't
anything
clearing
like
it from
that. You're gonna
K9
need those
whatsoever.
later to deal with the ADSs from Rampy, and you know, maybe you might actually use them on an enemy instead of just simply clearing some utility. The ADSs on library stairs doing their jobs, but they're not.
ADS plus no angle? You can nade it, surely, right? You just nade the back wall and it bounces off and you just kill it. Obviously, you gotta clear the ADSs, but all you do, you take Chala's 3 flashbangs, right? That's what you do. These flashbangs and 1 nade goes K9. You flash 2 times or 3 if you want, and you clear that shield. That shield only has 1 ADS or 2 ADS because this shield here has 1 or 2 as well. So there's 3 spread between these 2. So K9 flash nade bang, then here flash bang nade, boom. Then they're both done for, right? Like it should be that simple. How many have I won? I won 2 invitationals, 1 major, Paris major, 4 ProLeague finals, DreamHack, Spanish major, German major, Nordic finals.
Leaving Luke and Bosco to fend against TSM. Tough spot for Space Station to be in. Luke in the stock room, just waiting very patiently. He sees Bolo, but doesn't do enough damage.
Total earnings? I can Google it.
He takes out achieved. Bolo's down too, and just like that, SSG's actually in this.
1v1? Okay, 1 sec. Let's back it up real quick. What just happened, dude? It was 3v5, and it comes down to 1v1. Yeah, I've won like 40 go fors. Yeah, EUL finals, yeah. Achieve gets Ramby. Nice. Falls is 1 health with SMG. Oh, sorry, it's the FMG. Achieve gets Falls. Nice. Triple kill. Beautiful. And then it all creates for chaos here. It's 5 versus 2. 18 seconds left. Bit of vertical, but not a whole lot.
To fend against TSM. Tough spot for Space Station to be in. Luke in the stock room, just waiting very patiently. He sees Bolo, but doesn't do enough damage, and he's gonna get swung on.
Bosco gets 1, Luke gets another, Bosco gets a second, Luke gets a third, and Jesus, dude. Okay. Fair play. Merc against Bosco. 0 seconds left. Time goes out. Jesus, dude. Was he planting? He was. Monka Omega, dude. They have no map control, they have no cover, they have nothing.
Bolo's down too, and just like that, SSG's actually in this.
Oh, skis, dude. That's a bit messy. This is the exact position that TSM themselves lost in 3v5. And like now they lose 2v5 or 5v2 rather against them. They have no control anywhere. Like they try and plant and they walk in with the exterior doors, but against nothing. Like, you can 5-man through 1 door and probably get a better result than what happened here. It's 1v1, v1, 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 Planter dead. Like, no one's really crossing anything here. I mean, think about it. You have 2 drones on Merc. 1 drone here, probably flying drones, if I had to guess. Some of these at least, right? You have 3 flashbangs still. Nobody threw any flash, I don't think. So we're just going in dry. Completely dry. Still 3 flashbangs. Right? No vertical play on the bar. Messy, messy, messy. Total earnings, bang. 355,478 and 94 cents. This is before. Also, this isn't 100% accurate. I think I've made less. Like 320 or 300k flat maybe. And then there's like taxes, which is like 55%. So it's more like 150 or 140k, right? Kick. Yeah. This is top 25.
Because all of SSG were fixated on the push coming from Master because strategically that's what they've come to expect.
Hello, Bobbies.
Did you have plans for the ground beef?
Nothing in particular. No, why?
We have nothing else to cook for dinner, so I thought about just making pasta because I'm lazy.
Pasta, man. You can. I'll make some bacon with a 2-piece. Make it some nice pasta.
No,
Okay. Please. Please.
They've been conditioned
You're reporting me?
to expect a full Master
Fuck, dude.
over. Achieved circumvents those expectations.
Stefan wins on my
comes to
total.
Library,
That's
easy
just
double
that's
kill.
just Pro League tournaments. Then there's like salaries, sponsorships, like streaming, YouTube, donations, yada yada yada. That's
Triple kill,
just
make
like
it. And now you've
invitationals,
got full 7
finals,
main
Pro League
advantage, everything
finals,
going your way. Plants going down,
majors.
and then Luke lands a headshot onto your planter.
Basically, that money is all the trophies in the background, which you can't really see on camera, but there, like that's all those trophies each have money attached to them, right? Like 25k, 100k, like whatever. So it's just tournament winnings.
And round's over. Not enough time.
Thank you, Leromi, for the fine.
That's... Oof. Parker.
Yeah, you're not allowed to use uniforms because of the blending issue, Kratos. You can only use Pro League skins or Pilot Program skins.
At once, and they weren't able to capitalize. Luke in his position picks up 2 kills. Wow, I just... Hats off to SSG for how they played that. I mean, TSM...
I'm not sure, Han.
Deal with the roam that we
I'm
saw
not sure.
from SSG. They cleared utility with
Might just play some
40
unranked.
seconds left. That's
I haven't
when
played season like
Pulse's
forever.
first toxic canister
I got
came
WoW
out,
raid in like
40
an hour,
seconds.
so...
He's retreated to the top of the stairs, and eventually TSM sweeps on in. Most of that round was just achieved, by the way. He picked up the 3 kills.
Nip for my blending quite well, it does. It does, no cap.
Versus Merc in a 1v1.
TSM adopting the same kind of strategy, gonna go for the Snowball Breach first by the looks of things, into a blue attack, similar fashion that they did last time around, seems to work, so why not go for it again? I do like the push though. Breach into blue, into plant. Very nice. Thank you, Luna Play. I can't use elite skins because they're paid to win. Twitch drones blend in with the floor and stuff. You can only use Pro League skins or Pilot Program skins. Or OT4 skins, of course. Shout importantly, frag onto the Fingernator mute. We love to see it. That brings this in a good position, but Rampy shuts down Merc and says no, bring it back to 4-4. SSG playing a much more volatile and dynamic, movable roam game than what TSM did. They were setting up in a still area, playing very statically. Rampy, Fools, and Thinking It on mute, so they got mute multi vigil. Bunch of drone deny and drone confusion here. Makes it much more difficult for TSM to figure out the roam game. And on top of that, the kill they found was Jackal. So no footsteps shall be sniffed, thus making the roam clear even more difficult. I like that rotating bar to the main stairs. Gives you another way back. So you start library, you go bar, then you go basement. Now there's a 1 minute 21 seconds left, 4 versus 3 mat advantage, and they got no Jackal or Nomad on the board, thus no smoke grenades. SSG also playing Luke on Echo. That's like the perfect Luke operator, I swear to God. What about 9 map pool? I would love that. I would.
Let's just wait them out. And that looks to be what SSG is trying
Isn't
to
a
do.
large part of what any sports org earns also sponsorships? Orgs don't really make money from tournament winnings. So yeah. Orgs make their money from like sponsorships, advertisements, and deals. As you said, I would make good casters since I understand the game better than most casters. Well, I'm also a worse casters than actual casters, which is why I would make a terrible caster. Not every caster knows as much as pro players, in fact, probably none do but Kickstar. But that doesn't mean I would be a good caster. To be a good caster, you got a lot of things that needs to be going for you, which they wouldn't in my case. If anything, I could be on the analyst desk and talk about certain segments or parts of breaking down a strategy, or why did something work, why did something not work, but I most certainly would not be qualified to be a caster just because I know about the game. In Taro, he can sell you a pen even though you don't need to use a pen and paper ever in your life. That's because he's good at his job. I could not. Bolo hits heads, that's his job, and he's good at it and gets one onto Rampy and full trades it back onto Bolo as well. 2v2 post plant on the breach. That's a TSM guaranteed round. And there it is. Bosco last man standing, less than 20 health on the bar. And this breach post plant, just like Consulate Basement, is so absurd. You just can't possibly... Wait. Nope, can't possibly win. Dosh not work, dude.
Doesn't really matter for that round. From whence we came, we shall remain. The very first round of their attack went to TSM, as does the last.
Coach analyze? I'll be better as a coach analyst, for sure. No doubt. No doubt.
Okay, so overtime.
The thing is,
well
if I end up working with an org that has a siege team, I would be like a second coach, right? Like I don't want to be like a content creator in an org and just like stream and not give a fuck, right? I would want to be like, not like a Pojo or a BC, but I would want to be like a middle ground. Like I'm a streamer and stuff, but I want to like see scrim results and have like team meetings and talk pro league strategy, and I want to go to LAN events with the organization and stuff, you know? Like I'm not leaving Siege anytime soon.
Because it was too easy for SSG.
Now more than ever, I can attend every single tournament in person because I can travel there and just have fun as a fan, as a spectator.
That did not happen. The pressure applied to Blue.
Pojo Pog? Yeah, dude, Pojo's he's vibing, dude. Look at him. Look at him. Absolute unit of a man.
And he died there. He did not want to try and take that risk again. So the blue pressure just doesn't happen. So Bolo only needs to focus on the connector.
Yeah, my experience could be valuable as a coach in a way. There's different ways of coaching. You can be like a mental coach, a strat coach, like a more like a daddy figure, like make the guys, you know, like each other and have good like team vibes and stuff. I as a coach more like the experience that I have knowing what it's like to be a player. That's what Pojo Man and BC and Daxio, they both bring that aspect. Like they were former pro players turned coaches, whereas say someone like Shaz, who's never played anything like Pro League, he doesn't know what it's like, right? Like he has like the analytical, statistical mindset for it, which he's really, really fucking good at, if not one of the best. But he doesn't have the experience of being a player, what it's like to be in the trenches, so to speak.
All it takes is one attacker sitting on main stairs.
Thank you, Mr. Luan Victor. Fabian would make a great coach. I don't know, dude. Fabian's patience and like timber for idiots, it's not really there. You know, he has the knowledge for it, sure. But being a coach is very much a people's person. Is that the term? People's person? Yeah, you gotta be like a people person. You know how to say it, when to say it, who to say it to. Type of guy. Fabian would just shit on them. You know? You're like, yeah, you fucking suck, fix it, you know? Which some players, they can work with that. But some players, they fucking crumble with that. Like, you need to be able to do both the stern and the firm hand. Which both Fabian and I are bad at. We're both very, 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 very stern. We're very like, you suck, fucking get better, idiot, or I'll fucking kick your ass, you know? Whereas like Shaz is like, oh, have you ever thought about maybe possibly going about it in this way instead? We're very direct, very honest, very blunt.
For a defender to be able to stop a plant, and if the attackers can get a nice
unfuck yourself, yeah.
Then there's almost nothing most of these teams can do on defense. At least not yet. I'm sure there'll be some adaptations later on.
Every coach is different, and every player
we haven't really seen anything.
Prefers different kind of coaching and feedback.
The only strategy I can think of to defend Snowmobile.
Fabian would be the Gordon Ramsay of coaches.
This is kind of wild.
It's like, where's my rotate hole? This strat is raw. Fix it. And then they would make a bunch of rotates and juice up the strat, and then it would work great. Actually true, dude. Actually true. And if it doesn't work, like, you fucking donkey. Just flame his players. And then he'll be like, if you're not gonna do it, I can do it myself. And he's gonna kick someone out of the chair and fucking take over their spot on LAN. And just start playing like you a fuck. He's gonna be called Bolo.tsm, but it's Fabian playing. It's like, get out here, Bolo, you fucking moron. Let me show you how it's done. Then he'll clutch the round, save the day. And he'll be like, you can sit down now, son. They'll all like bow to him and be like, sorry, sir.
We'll see, though. I mean, go ahead.
Thank you, Nitrate Ammonia. Any science in chat?
While I was talking about losing control of a particular part of the map,
I know, the next one.
Types in our chat, if we lose control of blue, then who casts with Stokes?
What are you, an idiot sandwich?
Fair question.
Yeah, fucking Fabian. Fabian had this thing he would do where he would say like let's say that you like fucked up or like you died, or he would say, do you know what that's called in Swedish? Wrecked. And he would know what like if Goga lost a 1v1 or if somebody was late or whatever the case, he would always say, do you know what that's called in Swedish? And he would always say wrecked every time. No matter what you did, it became such a meme that people would just say, wrecked, Fabian. He's like, yeah, wrecked, dude. I'm like, yeah, okay, dude.
Oh, we're in this
Wrecked.
together.
I'm trying to participate. It's just hard to find things to make fun of with stuff.
Oh, we are but moments away from getting back into the matchup, so I hope you appreciate.
BDS without a coach? I think they have an analyst nowadays, don't they? The thing is, coaches are kind of overrated in a way nowadays. And I think BDS, if they still don't have like a proper coach, is a good example of it. Because what does a coach do in most teams? A coach is mainly like, it's like a teacher in school, but except that the students are like smarter than the coach, right? They're smarter than the teacher. The players know the game better than the coach in like 99% of cases, right? The coach is mainly a guy that's like, oh, you know, get up, guys, let's make some strats, let's get on the server. Like, it's more like a motivate, like, oh, guys, let's get going. You know, like a dad figure, like a teacher in school. It's like, guys, open your book, go to page 16 and read the fucking book, right? Read the page. That's mostly what coaches do. Like, they will get you to do stuff, and they will like be like the enabler, the motivator, and be like, oh, guys, today we're gonna talk about executing yellow stairs on consulate because to be honest, we fucking suck at it. And then players go, no, we don't suck at it. And then like the coach will be like, oh, but why do we fail at it? 79.33295% of the time. And then the players are like, oh, it doesn't feel like we lose that much. In my opinion, we do pretty good. And he's like, yeah, but I got the statistics, my guy. We don't do that good, so that's why we're gonna practice it. And then they go, oh, okay, well, you know, that's what most coaches do. So it's kind of overrated. If the players are motivated, and if the players themselves can like, if they can bring it from themselves within, you don't really need a coach. To be honest, what a coach is nice for is to offload the workload that players do. You know, you just worry about playing. And that's like what Shaz, the way he does it, he just wants his players to focus on one thing, to play the game and to do it good. He'll do the map bans, he'll do the schedule, he'll do the scrimming, like the scrim schedule, he'll talk to other teams, he'll talk to Ubisoft. If we have any feedback about patches or feedback for like balancing, he'll say it for us. We just need to worry about waking up and playing Siege and doing it the best we can. Right? So Shaz is basically there as a buffer to offload the work that we need to do so that we just worry about Siege. That's what our coach is mainly for. Obviously also like strat, statistics, you know, keep up with like everything else, but if the players themselves don't mind doing it, you wouldn't need a coach. Do you want to be the best team in the world? I do think you need a coach. And it is very impressive that BDS is doing as good as they are without one. But I do believe that they have analyst work and stuff for bigger events and what I do believe they do. I think so. Thank you, Mendesh, and thank you, Redlaw, for the 28 and 2.
As one of the Ana clones is sacrificed to buy some time, 30 seconds until that resets, and all the ADS is burned, and you'll see Geo just creep down.
Honestly, if you're super cheeky in this position, right? The second the first ADS gets burned, I know Jaeger doesn't have a shield, right? But let's say that you play the shield operator in this position, you can just pick up the shield and yeet down the fucking staircase and then put it downstairs. Honestly, you could. You can't really swing the window because one, they can peek at promo holding like just like they are. They're holding a deep angle while proning. Or also, you don't really have any control over this gate. But if you could pick up that shield and just yeet away with it, that's some stonks. Because you can like juke the nade and then put it back down even if you really wanted to. You can juggle the shield. It is risky, but it is recharged, so. Thank you, Dallas, for the 38.
That's the same position that we saw Achieved play last
shield juggling is pretty legit in some instances. It's very much like, you know, ADH juggling. Like if you fuck it up, you get naded. But if you don't fuck it up, it's pretty nice.
Definitely
it's like a high risk, pretty low reward, but hey, it's kind of cool, you know.
They'll just leave the crossfire, and that means that SSG will get top 4 control. But with 40 seconds left, I'm assuming
40 seconds left. They got top 4 control. They have very little time to do vertical play. They gotta get the Ash over there to get Terror from above. TSM playing time here and very much to perfection compared to previous rounds. All they gotta do is hold on the fort for a brief moment longer and then successfully deny the plan with side positions, something they failed to do earlier.
It's gonna try to trick
They have
the
a bit
Jackal
more
into
full
engagement.
forward positions this
He's
time around,
never
and while
gone
Merc
for
gets
his
one,
first.
Gio runs away.
Bolts and Luke falls to Bolo now
We've
as
seen
well.
this
TSM
before.
getting
Diffuser now
one
down in
left. Diffuser
Fireplace.
right
Now
inside
it's gonna
of
be
the
bad
VOD.
news
The
bears.
ultimate
Smokes are
cut
gonna
off.
come
Smokes is trying
out.
to cut off some
Oh,
vision.
with 2 seconds
There's
left.
flank coming
Oh,
from
we can get
TSM
this
as well.
down, especially with the
Gio
flank coming through from
not
Gio.
spotted. He's able to gun
He
down
ran
one,
past the
but
guy
Gio also
planting
knocked down two
twice.
members of TSM.
Oh,
Achieving
Monka,
control
dude.
will need to do something, and
And
it's
C4
such
from
an
Achieve gets
unmatched
2
as
team kills
Achieve
and the
sacrifices
planter
both
all in
Gio
one.
and Merc for the
Nice
Nitro
Achieve.
cell
Nice.
kill. That's a
And he
3
griefers,
piece,
dude.
but it wins TSM the round, and they now sit on match
Pretty sure they
point.
team injured as well
You can
because
see
there was no one else
that,
alive but
the
Luke, and they
comical
all got
nature at the end of
injured.
that
It's like, what are
round
they shooting at,
It's
dude?
not lost on TSM. And they took the
That's the
dub,
only thing I
so
don't like about
unfortunately,
Chalet is that
about
it
that one.
seems like the current meta game is literally just to like waste time and run away, right? And I think if Yacht, or Yacht, as you guys call it, Yacht, if Yacht was in Pro League, same story. You would roam top floor, then run second floor, then run first floor, and then hide, right? Because the map is so big and it's kind of hard to take it that you would just play on time. Play traps like Capkin, you know. I don't think Capcom and Chalet would be that great, but, you know.
And it's worked out for
How come there's a glass between the players and Ubisoft mandates that they will all live in the same team house anyway? I think it's like a precaution to follow up with as many protocols of safety and whatever for COVID. You know, each player might be in a team house, but I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Put all their focus on where they know the pressure's going to be coming.
I guess better safe than sorry. You know, it's not like that glass is gonna break much of your experience.
On SSG's side was in fact
Hopefully.
not actually that big of a deal because, well, there was nobody there when TSM fell back with 40 seconds left on the clock.
Now Mercs on
Good
the
awareness
Nook.
from TSM. Really stellar stuff.
Ramby brought
and
it
now they put themselves
earlier.
in an overtime match point.
So TSM struggled previous round to deal with these 2 shields in question right here. So I would love to see TSM actually deal with this correct this time, because it is so easy to kill this shield. You flash, nade, dead, right?
First lead that
From
TSM
K9.
has
You're
had.
super
I
safe.
noted this just a couple. I think it was like 1 or 2
Thank
rounds
you,
ago. This is
Abrantes,
the
with
first
sub as
lead
also.
that TSM has had so far. So
When is invite? Invite's in May. We don't know exactly when.
I mean, it's one of those stats where in traditional sports you'll see
It's
it where
soon,
we're, like,
dude.
time
Jesus.
leading,
Mm-hmm.
and one team will be,
Exciting.
like 54 minutes.
Very
and it'll be,
exciting.
Like time trailing. It's like 2 minutes because the rest of it is tied.
It'll
or
be in
something like
Paris,
that.
I believe.
And you're like, I wonder which team won. Not the one you
Does
thought. That's
Europe
why the
bring it
stat's
home in
interesting.
Europe?
So,
What is this?
this is a double roam now. Once
Oh,
again,
I like this.
choosing.
Is this gonna be the good old bait like on
I'm
Villa?
so tempted to make the
Foles will
joke.
kill the Jones and fall back. He's gonna hide in the bathtub, and then you're gonna play for bait
I
here.
appreciate it. I
There.
already
The
knocked it out
bathtub
yesterday
here
with
is not that
SSG, but
tall,
now
so it's easy to
here
get seen,
again,
but
Rampy's,
if Foles
Rampy's
plays
waiting
it,
for the
yep.
tier 3 subs right now as he's in there.
And if you
so-
just kill like one more Joan, or like if Foles not gives away his position to be somewhere else, that's when it's gonna work. Am I going to invite? COVID, my guy. Don't think any fans are allowed. That's all I am, a fan. I'm not a priority. I'm not a coach, not a caster, not a player.
He was keeping Rampy
Last I
safe.
heard, you're gonna
That's
bring
the
6
whole
people
point
from each
behind it.
org. So 1 coach, 5 players. No content, no end list. No managers. And that's likely gonna be the case because of COVID. Ram, it worked. Ramby gets Geo. That's Diffuser and Nania halfway through the round, and TSM now has to backtrack through the map and re-drone everything they already cleared. I take that back because Chala finds him. And that does make life a bit easier, less time is wasted, and they're now safe again from where they once were. I would say that ACC came out on top, trading 1-for-1 with Thermite and getting all that time wasted. Pretty big value here. Remember, it is the power bomb side, not library, so they gotta take top floor and do vertical play and go side, unless they just cheat for bomb side straight away. That could be a way to stir things up here. All gonna go down to gunfights. No refrag. It's okay, they get a frag elsewhere. Luke's gonna run for his life. Again, you can't play, you gotta get the frags, get the revive, play the 1v3, get the diffuser down. This is good. Very nice, using this. Oh, is that a 1-tap? Jesus. In this situation, when he's wallbanging this wall, and diffuser's almost down, Achieved should go top floor to use vertical, to have post-plant position to guarantee the round win. Bolo, once you finish planting, will just waste as much time as possible and stay alive so that a chief can get into top 4 position. That is like the ideal play, how I see this play out. The second Bolo's close, you know this guy can't kill the planter, you yeet upstairs and you play the post-plant there.
Like that. 25 seconds left, but Bolo's gonna put this into a post plant.
Like, he could jump out the window, go up library staircase or ladder, and then you're good. Or staircase, though. I mean, that also works.
HP, the spray giving away the position. Fultz tries to take the fight, but Bolo's doing a great job of getting away, almost landing.
See, I wouldn't even hold that angle personally, because if Bolo's on one side, it can get messy. But regardless, very nice.
One, but achieved is better as it turns.
Can you look at that one shot one more time? That was so clean.
That man from the drop, and he will do just that. Nice one.
Oh.
Out essentially.
Imagine only firing a single bullet.
And he will do just that. Nice one. He absolutely smoked.
That's actually giga clean. It's so clean that Bolo stops planting. Look. That's how clean it is. Bolo's like, wait, what the fuck? That's nice. That's actually nice.
And he's not got any smokes in his pocket, but he certainly can land more shots like that. 25 seconds left, but Bolo's going to put this into a post plant. Both of these attackers very low on HP.
What was the time here? Oh, 25
25
seconds.
seconds left, but Bolo's
Trying to see if Fultz could have ran it down. You could have played here and just killed the planter through the wall. But no, don't think you
put
can.
this into a post plant. Both of these attackers very low on HP. The spray giving away the position. Fultz tries to take
If Fultz had a shotgun here, it actually might have been like something nice could have maybe happened from it. Like, that's exactly where you want the shotgun, generally speaking, for those situations. Man had the audacity to shoot a single bullet. I know. The audacity on this man. Thank you, Kakar Mas. I'm excited to see how Latin plays Chalet and whatnot as well, and see if like Chalet will further develop. Because the current Chalet is interesting. Yeah, he's using FG9 for a few rounds, aim. Giga Chat Energy, true. How to time it? I'm vibing. I started playing a lot of League of Legends. I think I've played over 50 ranked games of League of Legends the last 3 or 4 days. So more than 10 games a day, pretty much. Yeah, like Siege is kind of like in a bad state, and kind of like burned out a bit. So I'm playing League for now. I'm raiding in WoW. I got a raid in like an hour and a half. Gonna go to Denmark the 16th. Then I won't be streaming for 10 days. So yeah, I won't be streaming for a little bit soon, TM. Once I come back from Denmark, the plan is to grind back up and get back going with like the daily streams and content. But I am gonna take that 10-day break and get like a proper reset that I haven't had in 5 years. So yeah. But once I return, we're gonna be grinding out content again like we used to. That is the plan, at least. That is the plan. And then I gotta figure out if we're gonna be moving or not, and everything else, and like what the future looks like, what we're gonna be doing in the future. Yeah. So we got a lot of meetings and decisions to make soon, boys. Yeah, we got some mom's cooked meals. It's gonna be great. When I go to Denmark, I'm probably gonna be doing VOD review. I can't really play Siege when I'm in Denmark because I don't have a setup, but I can do VOD review, and I'll probably do like some vlogs, and I'll do a bunch of photos. I'm excited for that. So more VOD reviews soon. Probably not gonna do another VOD review until I leave. So for the next like 5 days, I won't. But then in Denmark, I might do some. But I'll stream some Siege tomorrow and stuff like that. I think. Record some videos before I leave. No, second game, Nuketown. I also reviewed the BTS Navi game from earlier as well. Photos, Puck? Yeah, I want to do more photos. I want to do more photos for sure. I'm super excited for photos in general. Yeah. I enjoyed taking photos. I got this hoodie from Hyper. So Hyper DM'd me back in like January. He was like, yo, Nick, I got merch coming soon. Would you want one if I get it? I was like, yeah, okay. And it came. It actually looks sick. I'm not one for flowers usually, but it's super nice. It's hyper down here. Oh yeah, it's super nice. Red silk, yeah, it's like red silk in Siege. It is. No, I didn't get Royce merch because I'm gonna be moving possibly. And I didn't want to bother with like packages and whatnot. That's sick, guys. It's really sick. I think he's selling it soon, or he already did. I'm not really sure. What else? Any other photos I've taken? Not really. I haven't taken any photos lately. Took the ones for Riley's promo for Nvidia this morning. These are like the first photos we took ever, pretty much. This is the 63rd photo we ever took. And Riley took them, not me. That's when we had snow here in Berlin. It's a long time ago. Trying to see. No, that's it. Review the old Penta games. I think it's hard to review the old games because different meta. Like, it's kind of weird to look at, no? What do I do for exercise to have a bike? So currently, I mainly just, I have dumbbells here at home. And I have like a workout mat I use for sit-ups, push-ups, etc. I also have some resistant bands that I use for my chest and upper body to get chest workout. I'm mainly working on chest, stomach, and arms. And then I'm gonna start doing legs probably next week. Plan is to get some already this year. I've been taking progress pictures just to like keep up with how things are evolving. And I did consider making like a progress picture at some point if we end up getting nice progress. Sun's out, guns out. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. No, it's been nice so far. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Now that I have time to actually do it, I enjoy it. Before with ProLeague and like everything else, like, I just didn't have the time. Like, it's just bad excuse, but I would be so tired. The last thing I wanted to do was work out. And it would just be like a bad workout, you know? Whereas now I can actually do it. But yeah, thank you, Mr. Chocolate Bar. Thank you. And thank you, Bible. Bible. We're gonna find your merch. There's still some left. If you type !merch or pengu.tv/shop, it's changed to this website where we have some left. We're sold out on everything. We have a very, very few copies left of the old merch. So like weird size, like triple XL or super small, whatever. And we have the hoodie left still as well for pre-order. But the rest is sold out, my guy. Thanks to you guys. Yeah, they do Fireball. The main thing about like progress pictures is that I like sending the message that other people can also do it. Because I've always been a super skinny guy, like super low weight. And I don't like it. And I don't think anyone really does my position. And I've gained weight. I've gotten more muscle mass and whatnot. So Triple X is weird. No, it's more like it's like less like weird in the sense that like less people use them and buy them, right? Like small and then like many XLs are like very few people buy them. Like small isn't sold out either, because like there's like a girl size or like a small boy size. Like I'm a medium and I'm a tiny guy, right? Like this shirt right here is a medium, right? Like it's not. You know, it's not big on me or anything. It's not small either. It's just medium. So like, if you're a tiny dude or a massive dude, then like you just don't buy those. You know. No, we had some 4XL and 3XLs buy. We also had a few smalls, but I think we had more 3XLs than smalls. Small is like so hard to come by. Cause like you gotta be in that awkward like stage of like puberty, I guess, to be a small. But yeah. The subs from nude points is disabled right now, sir. I'm tall but skinny, so all my stuff is either too baggy or really skinny on arms. That's my issue. One tip I can give you, Optic, is what you can do with your arms is you can fold this, right? Just fold it a little bit, and it'll look better on you, right? Just folding it a little bit, you get a little bit less. Instead of having like a big, you know? So just folding like your cuffs or whatever it's called, where your arm goes through. Something simple like that. But even that helps. When it comes to your pants, I just wear skinny jeans. And either I look like I have no body whatsoever, or I just look like a guy with skinny jeans, right? When's the new flower merch come out? It's not my merch. The flower shirt I showed you is Hyper's merch from Dark Zero. I think he sent a few. He sent it to like a couple like content creators to, like, I guess help advertise it and stuff. And I was happy to help him out because I like the merch a lot. It also has I have it actually. I can show you. It has a back piece too. Where is this? So the back is here. So that's the back piece. Right? I think it says Hyper in like Japanese or some shit. And then you got the front that I showed on photo. And you got the sleeve. Got the flowers. It's like embroidery. Embroidered. And then it says Hyper down here. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Where do you buy it? I can see if I can get you a link. It's not mine. It's someone else's. I don't think you can buy it. The thing is, I don't think you can buy it yet. I don't think you can yet. It's basically just Hyper's logo, and then like you followed the same like design for the shirt. Yeah, you can't buy it yet. So what I got is like a pre-order to like show you guys. He didn't ask me to show it, but obviously I'm going to. It's super nice. It's like a nice fit as well. Where am I shipping stuff from? It's shipped from America, Gala. Shipped from America. Yeah. Heard NF's new album? I have. It's banger. Absolute banger. I'm excited for my next merch drop because I kind of want to do something similar-ish. Like, I thought about doing, like, a summer drop, and it's gonna be, like, either, like, Cherry Blossom inspired, very much like that hoodie is, or something more, like, less gamer branded, like, basically. Because all the things that we've done so far with my merch is very gamer branded. We're gonna do one last year for summer, but because of COVID, we couldn't do it. But we're gonna do like a summer drop that was very non-gamer. No, I know, Melee. The one thing that we need, and the same issue that Hyper has, is getting merch supplied in both Europe and North America is like impossible. So either you do it in EU and NA gets fucked, or you do it in EU gets fucked. Like there's no big way of winning there for most merch companies. So I'm trying to look into that. Like that's like my #1 priority for next merch drop. That is for sure my #1 priority. But yeah. Where do I live? I live in Berlin, sir. Berlin bound, baby. Oh, I have this sick idea for my new room when I do a room open. Like next time I'm gonna like change my room, I have this sick idea. I don't want to talk about it. I want to show you guys in a video when I do it, if I do it. But I saw this sick idea on YouTube, and I think I can do it. I think I can like copy it, and it's gonna look insane, and no one's gonna guess what it is. But yeah, if I move or if I feel like rechanging this setup, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna fucking go through the struggle of getting it done. I want to get like now that I'm retired, I'm not gonna be moving a lot and traveling a lot. I want to make like my perfect home studio, like for content creation, for streaming, 2 PC setup. I want to give you guys the highest quality production value you can get for the quality of like streaming from home, And same with like my YouTube videos and like my TikToks and stuff like that. I want to make it ergonomic and content creator friendly and up the quality. So got a bunch of things I want to do. But I first got to figure out where the fuck I'm going to live. And then we're going to buy stuff and set it up and build it. But yeah. Anyhows, I think I got nothing else, boys. I was gonna do another map, but I'm gonna not be able to eat dinner with my girlfriend if I do, so I'm probably just gonna go early. Ish. Can I get those Sakura themed shirts and mouse pads branded by you? Hell yeah. Do you watch anything on Netflix? I'm currently watching Suits. Riley hasn't seen it before, so like I'm rewatching it and she's watching it for the first time. And Suits is great, dude. I fucking love it. It's almost better the second time. What season? I think we're in season 4 or 5. I think. But yeah. Anywho's, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for chilling, and thank you for watching the non-gameplay stream. Hosonic, we can. I'll be hosting Soronic, who's also a Siege streamer. I'll be raiding him, so join in on the raid. Spam some nudes when you get in there. Have some fun. Enjoy the stream. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for some Siege on Ranky. Go hang out with Alex, boys. Get in the raid! Get in the raid! When you get there, spam some nudes. Make sure he knows where you guys came from. And you guys are a bunch of neuters. Take care, Millie. Take care, chat. Take care, Howie. Take care, Han. Bye-bye.